This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Well done, Patricia. Welcome to DBL. Today is World Kindness Day.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Yeah, but I don't need a day for that. I just love you guys. I love seeing you.
It's in the prompter. It's also Friday, the 13th of November. Ooh. So Friday the 13th for 2020, though, probably means it's good. I'm Tori here with Alan Lindsay. Let's get started. There's been all sorts of confusion and misinformation about the election, especially if you live online. Was there widespread fraud? Were there glitches in the software that changed the votes? Okay, well, now we got the answer. The folks in charge of election security just released a statement calling the November 3rd election in 2020 the most secure in American history. They go on to say, quote, "There is no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised." This comes after 3 more news networks, including ABC News, called Arizona for Biden last night. Now, even though all the networks have called the election for Joe Biden, many Republicans have not. They say they are waiting for the president's lawsuits to play out and for the election to be officially certified. But now former President Barack Obama is speaking out. He's been doing media for the release of his new memoir next week. Here is what he said about all of this to CBS's 60 Minutes.
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
All right, so I want to get your feelings. Should Republicans say, like China, like Britain, like other countries, congratulations, President-elect Joe Biden, or should they stick with their party and be loyal? And also, this means that Joe Biden's not getting any kind of briefing, which is a national security issue. You want that transition of power. He needs to have some background information. Linz, what do you think about the Republicans not speaking out as for Joe Biden as president?
I think there are some people speaking out. Mitt Romney specifically said something.
One or two.
I'm just saying, there are some people speaking out. And I think it's important to think about everything that's going on. So some of these people are like, there were 75+ million people that voted for President Trump. And if I bash him in this moment when he hasn't made his official announcement as the leader of this country, how am I going to keep those people voting for me in these next elections? So they're probably thinking about that. But I do think that, to quote Kenny Rogers, you got to know when to hold it, know when to fold it. And so this is just, you know, you have to know that this is the time. There were 150 million Americans that voted. This is the most secure, as we're getting the information, election in our history, which says a lot because it's the most people that ever voted in our history. And I think that we have to move forward and start to, like you said, transition the power and do this the right way.
Know when to fold them. What do you think of?
I look at this as somebody that I just don't understand, Lindsay, and I'll tell you why. It's like,
who don't you?
I don't understand people's gripes when they have issues with the voting because a lot of people were expecting a blue wave to happen in terms of the House and the Senate. That didn't happen. The Republicans held the Senate, and the Democrats actually lost seats in the House. But those elections aren't in dispute, even though those elections were on the same ballot as the president. So why do we count those victories for the Republicans, but the one at the top of the ticket we don't? If they were separate pieces of paper, we can have a discussion, but I don't understand what happened mid-sheet of paper.
Yeah,
and I don't want to credit like states like Arizona turning blue to miraculous error in calculation or something, or miscalculation.
That's a good point.
There were Latinos, Latinas, indigenous people that showed up in outrageous numbers to say how they felt. There were people that stood up for John McCain. There were people that came out, like Stacey Abrams got so many thousands of people to vote in Georgia. All these states that have changed colors is for a specific reason and specific issues that people stood up and fought for. And that's our entire democracy and what voting's all about. And I think we have to give credit to that, and that all the Republicans, all the Democrats, the president should give credit to what happened in this last election.
And to your point, AOC said something really important yesterday, talking about Stacey Abrams. She said that Georgia wasn't a red state, it was a voter suppressed state.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
And that's what Stacey Abrams took care of. She thought about 800,000 were being suppressed. So interesting. If you are a Republican and you don't want to call Joe Biden president-elect, write me in and let us know why you feel that way and when you would make the switch or not. Let us know.
And explain the mid-sheet of paper.
Explain the mid-sheet of paper.
Mid-sheet of paper.
Crazy. All right, speaking of President Obama, there are other more personal details that are emerging from the upcoming release of his new memoir, A Promised Land. So Obama talks about smoking while in the White House, cigarettes obviously. He says he would sometimes smoke 8 or 9 cigarettes a day. He said he'd look for a very discreet location to grab an evening smoke. I've been to the White House. There's not a lot of discreet places that don't have someone looking at you. So what made him quit? Well, apparently it was Malia. She smelled cigarette on his breath. She said she wasn't happy about it, so that was his inspiration. Obama also revealed that the presidency took a toll on his marriage. I'd never heard this before. He had felt an undercurrent of tension in Michelle, and that all her previous sources of frustration just became more concentrated, more vivid while in the White House. He also admitted to worrying that those days when everything felt lighter might never return. I just wanted you to talk about addiction because you are recently sober.
Yes.
And that's a hard thing to quit is cigarettes. I mean, if Obama can't do it, not many people can do it. It's highly addictive. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, well, think about why people smoke cigarettes, why people have a drink after work. It's to relieve tension. And Lindsay, who has more tension in their life than the President of the United States? And for us, I mean, you've had a ton of different jobs in media. I'm sure that you're gone sometimes. And it's, I'm sure, been a stress on your relationship, whoever you're with, family, a loved one, somebody you're dating. It's been like that with my kids, like leaving to go do stand-up for 10 years killed me. So I definitely see where all these addictions can come from in getting help. There's no stigma in that. Just go fix it.
And I think Michelle talked about this too. She was like, in Becoming, this was strenuous because she is naturally a person that will speak back and respond to people that say things that might disrespect her or her husband. And she was quiet for 8 years.
Yeah, she had to be.
And so I understand being a black woman, just sitting there and saying, you know, I'm going to support my man and just do the right thing and just not respond to people that may be punching down below and going high. But that whole idea of going high that came from Michelle is a really hard thing to do if you're going to talk about it in bed at night.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. Like pillow talk, it's not easy.
Yeah, know that I'm going high.
Yeah, I don't want to go high. All right, coming up on DBL, we are talking, this is an amazing story, to an aspiring model, you see her there, who lost a leg to a crippling condition, why she's going to make the decision to amputate her other leg. And McDreamy is back from Grey's Anatomy. Yes, from the dead.
Oh, stop it.
I'm so excited. Is resurrection a cheap ratings ploy, or does it actually add something to the story? Don't go away. It's so cute. Welcome back to DBL. Fans of Grey's Anatomy were in for a pleasant surprise during last night's season premiere because Patrick Dempsey, aka Dr. McDreamy, no one else is excited in the studio, returned at the end of the episode in what appeared to be a dream. Now, if you didn't know, Patrick played the hot doc for 11 seasons before dying in a car accident. He was married to Ellen Pompeo's character at the time. Ellen spoke to GMA about bringing McDreamy back. It was her idea. Take a look.
So I reached out to Patrick, and we went for a nice hike, and we had a long walk, and we talked about it, and we said that, people are just going to love this. We have the opportunity to bring smile to people's faces during 2020. We have to do this.
Okay, so we are going to get into the whole dream situation. Just know that Ellen Pompeo and Patrick Dempsey also weren't speaking for years after the separation on Grey's Anatomy, and this was the first time they reunited in person. So this was a big reunion for both character and actor. Talk to me. Do we like dreams where the dead come back? This isn't what do we have? Dallas. Bobby Ewing came back. We got Jon Snow. There's Bobby Ewing coming back.
First of all, boo to all of this. Boo.
Keep playing their B-roll as you go.
First of all, it's boring. It's like
Connor,
it's so easy. First of all, and I talked about this earlier with you guys before we started the show. I like to have stakes. When people die, they need to go away. I don't want you to use some kind of weird television thing to bring them back. And also, if we are going to go with the dream sequence, why are they just going to be on a beach?
It's always a beach.
Because no one's dreams are like that.
It's always
dreams are weird. It'd be like, I could do the beach, but then you're like, why is my 7th grade teacher here?
Yeah.
Like, there's always why is my dad a spider?
Why
There's
am I
always
a
something
raisin?
weird in a dream. Like, I don't like how perfect their dreams are. Lindsay, am I tripping?
I mean, you like Game of Thrones. You love Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And Jon Snow came back from the dead.
I didn't like that. They
Spoiler
lost me.
alert if you haven't seen it. Like me, I haven't seen season 1 through 5, by the way.
No,
I saw 5.
No. Don't look at me. Look at the camera. Look at America.
All right, listen, guys.
And tell America this craziness.
Here we go.
I started Game of Thrones late. I started with season 5 and watched it up until the end season. And it's embarrassing, but I needed to catch up and see what was
She's
what.
not seen Red Wedding, guys. No Red
My
Wedding.
mom has explained it in great detail. I understand what the Red Wedding was.
That's how Lindsay does marathon. She's like, I'm going to start at mile 20. And I needed to catch up. Like, you don't do that. That's not an option.
Look, the tortoise and the hare, wasn't there one that had like several brothers
They still
and sisters?
completed the entire race, though.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I thought he had
tortoise and
several
the hare.
people in the race for him.
How did that work? How did that go?
Because the tortoise won going slowly and the hare was distracted.
No, the
No.
hare started late. I think it was one tortoise, but the hare was slacking off.
I don't know the answer. This is embarrassing. Someone let us know. We're going to get back to you after this. We'll be right back with more riveting news. Welcome back to DBL. Okay, imagine this. You're a successful model at the height of your career when chronic pain causes you to be bedridden. Would you risk life and limb? Well, one young model made that choice. She's now faced with another life-changing decision, losing her other leg. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Smiling through the pain. It's something Lexi Bader does on a daily basis. We first introduced you to Lexi last year, a successful young model with a debilitating disease.
It felt like my toes were breaking in my boot, not even worth it. I can't model. The shoes are way too painful.
Lexi suffers from a rare nerve disease that causes her left foot to swell and turn purple. Her pain is crippling.
I lay in bed every single day. I usually cry every single day. And I can't do anything. Like, I can't climb, I can't work out, I can't run, I can't walk.
After 8 excruciating years, Lexi made the life-altering decision to amputate her leg below the knee.
I wasn't sad at all. I didn't miss it. I just looked down and I was like, yes, no more pain.
Within months, Lexi is walking. She begins pushing herself to new limits.
I went snowboarding down Encar, this mountain that's right outside my house. And it was awesome. I had no pain. I could walk, I could hike up the mountain to get my board, I could walk down.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Lexi is pain-free and she's back on the runway.
In the fashion show, I was rocking heels the entire time. I didn't have to take them off or, take a break. I could actually wear heels the entire time through the fashion show with no pain.
But Lexi's joy is short-lived.
It's actually worse than the other side was.
Her rare nerve disease is back with a vengeance.
I couldn't even walk in the fashion show. I actually had to leave because I couldn't. It was just too painful and I was crying and it was felt like my foot was like just breaking.
Her disease has spread into her right foot.
I actually don't model anymore right now. I don't even do photo shoots.
She is now facing amputation of her right leg.
I see my friends working toward their goals and people are proud about their job, and I haven't had a job for 9 years. I just want to work toward my goals in my life, and I can't do that when I'm getting procedures every Friday and I'm in chronic pain. I'm getting surgery once a year.
Lexi, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you because it was such a celebratory time the last time you were here, and you've been through so much. So tell us what a day is like for you dealing with your rare nerve disease that causes you chronic pain.
The amputation I got, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It's more my other foot now. I usually don't sleep much, and then when I do sleep, I'm on a lot of meds. I can't work. I work out as much as I can. It's basically the only thing I can do.
Well, you've been such a soldier, and I mentioned earlier you inspired so many people in our DBL nation, because to make the decision to amputate your leg the first time was not a decision that you made lightly. How did it affect the thing that you loved the most at that time, your modeling career?
So the first time that I got back on my heels, the first time I actually got to walk was amazing. And the first time I actually got my new prosthetic to be able to wear heels was pretty awesome. I took a ton of videos and I was super excited. And it didn't hurt at all, which was like the first time in 9 years.
You are so incredibly strong. I mean, honestly, the first time you were in here, just even having a conversation with you both in the hair and makeup room or on set, your strength is just incredible. But obviously, there are a lot of issues that are happening that you're having to face head on. So as you're facing your second amputation, do you have any body image fears? Like, what are you fearing at this moment?
I'm definitely ready because I'm ready for like no more pain and just to be done with surgery. But I'm also like very, very scared. I don't really know what to expect. I can't hop on one foot anymore, or like help myself get changed with one foot, or help myself get in and out of the bathtub with one foot. So I have a lot of anxiety right now. I'm a little bit depressed. But yeah, for body image, I'm It's really stressful for me. I'm just really upset. But I am ready to take it on because I'm ready to be in no more pain and not have to take like 5 different pills every single day just to be able to feel okay and be able to sleep. And I have surgery once a week. I go under anesthesia once a week. So I'm ready to not feel that way anymore.
You know, Lexi, I asked you that question because the first time you were here, you talked about body image issues, and you were actually in a place where you had embraced this idea. You were really not only just killing it in modeling, but that was a part of who you were. Like, that was your projection and your power, so to speak. So I was asking you that to see if you still felt that same way about it, but it seems as though you have so many other concerns that you haven't been able to tackle that side of it.
No matter what, like, everything's gonna turn out fine, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to modeling, and no matter what, I'm gonna go back to snowboarding, and I'm gonna keep doing and killing it at my life, and I'm still gonna go back to my jobs that I wanna do and keep working out. I'm just stressed right now.
And you know what, it's very understandable that you would be stressed, but know that as you did before, you came in and you said that I will be walking the catwalk or the runway in heels again, and you did that. You said I will be on a snowboard. You did that. So if anyone can overcome these obstacles, Lexi, I know it's you. So I want to thank you for sharing your incredible story. I mean, over the course of so many iterations of it. Please let us know what's happening with you, and we'll be looking for photos, because we know that whatever you're creating, child, it is going to be fierce. So thank you again for joining us on DBL.
And thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. As coronavirus cases increase, many are going to be hitting the road for Thanksgiving, and they're finding it cheaper than usual. We're chatting about it today in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. So according to AAA, just under 50 million people will be on the roads. That number is noticeably smaller this year because people feel safer at home. If you are driving there, it's a silver lining we want to tell you about. Gas is at its lowest price in over a decade, and it's expected to be under $2 by the end of the year. When it comes to traveling for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. Good to know. Let's get to what's really important, the tortoise and the hare. What's the story? We found out the real tortoise and the hare story. The tortoise goes, the hare runs faster, but takes a nap midway due to overconfidence, and the tortoise passes him.
But who showed up to see a rabbit in a turtle race anyway?
Like a lot of farm animals.
I feel like the tortoise had brothers and sisters, and I'm going to find that story of where they were in line helping them out with that race.
You think it was a relay?
And the lesson was that family helps out in all situations.
I don't think espionage was involved in the tortoise and the hare.
He's like, pass it off. All right, guys, DBL is new every day. We'll see you Monday. Be safe. Bye, guys.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Former President Obama gets personal in his new memoir. His confession of smoking cigarettes in the White House, plus how he says his presidency caused a strain in his marriage. A woman who spent years behind bars for aggravated murder fights to clear her name.
Her coming forward meant everything to me.
Can she prove her innocence to get exonerated? What in the dinosaur is that? We'll tell you where this gigantic alligator was spotted. Believe it or not, it wasn't Jurassic Park. And we're catching up with Laurence Fishburne. He reminisces about his role in Boys in the Hood, plus the story behind him saving Emilio Estevez from drowning.
Does he still owe you a big favor?
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
DBL starts right now.
Wow, thank you, Laurence Fishburne. Welcome to DBL. Today is World Kindness Day. It is also Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Spooky of November. I'm Sam here with Alan Torrey. Jeff joining us from home. Hey, Jeff. Are you superstitious about Friday the 13th?
No, my son was born on the 13th, so it's a beautiful day for me.
That's different than Friday the 13th, just being born on the 13th.
Well, but it can't be a bad thing for him. He doesn't want to associate the two things in his mind, even though, Jeff, your number in roulette is 16, correct?
What?
23, but
okay.
Hey, it's National Kindness Day.
Yes, and you better remember that with Tori, Jeff.
Thank you.
National Kindness Day.
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
Okay. There's been all
Hey,
sorts...
listen, I was going to be nice to Tori. Sam, you got in on me in the first 5 seconds, so maybe you should
You're right. I'll take that.
serve up some of what you're dishing out.
You're right about that. I'll take it. I will be much kinder the rest of this episode. Maybe. There's been all sorts of confusion and misinformation about the election, so let's get to it. Especially, let's talk about what's going on online, right? So there was widespread fraud all over online. Was there? We're going to find out because many people are wondering, were there glitches in the software that changed votes? Other people are wondering what exactly happened. So now the folks in charge of election security, they released a statement calling the November 3rd election the most secure in American history. That is a quote. They go on to say there is no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. So this comes after 3 more news networks, including ABC News, called Arizona for Biden last night. So even though all the networks have called the election for Joe Biden, many Republicans have not. In fact, many of our viewers have written in that you do not accept Biden as the president-elect because you believe that there was voter fraud. Well, now they say they are waiting for the president's lawsuits to play out and for the election to be officially certified, according to certain Republicans. But now former President Barack Obama is speaking out. He's been doing media for the release of his new memoir next week. Here's what he said about all of this to CBS's 60 Minutes.
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
Okay, so Tori, let's start with you here. And again, I get comments. You know, we read the comments every day. We appreciate everything that our viewers write in. And I've always said, listen, if you got to double check, triple check, recount, do what you have to do so one side or 50% of Americans can feel like that there wasn't voter fraud. But now that we've actually heard this quote, what do you make is going to happen? Do you think that we're going to hear from certain Republicans and actually start to call Biden the president-elect, or no?
I think the dominoes are already starting to tip, and people say in D.C., sources are saying that Ivanka is trying to tell her father it's time to concede, and Geraldo famously just went on the air today and said it's time to move on as well. I just want to let everyone know, a lot of you wrote me and said, look, that's only one group saying it wasn't fraud, but that's the Elections Committee. That's the Commission on Elections. That should be the end all. That's the adult in the room. We shouldn't be humoring anyone because we do that with children. We should be treating this like it was a technologically sound election. We should trust the people we put in for democracy. Not one lawsuit has gone through because there's no evidence. If you show me proof, I'll definitely take you seriously. But show me the proof.
Yeah, and with the voter fraud, Sam, you have to remember that you know, the Republicans, you know, kept control of the Senate, took some seats from the Democrats in the House. those elections were also on the presidential ballot. So why are those not being brought into contention as well? It's interesting how we just look at the top of the ticket but not the bottom. So I think you have to understand that if you're calling this election a fraud, that means we need to redo everything. Right? But I'm never hearing anything about the Senate wins from the Republicans. Well, I'm not hearing anything from that.
Yeah, and Jeff, before you chime in, we're getting comments left and right. Mary just wrote in on Facebook. She says, so you're saying we should believe one source that says the election was the safest one ever and ignore the hundreds of sworn affidavits that they say witnessed voter fraud. Then we have Jen that just wrote in. She says this was a premature pronouncement. How do they even know? Jeff, what would you say to that?
It being National Kindness Day, I'm going to agree with Tori today, just to take her side on this. We have to trust in the system, right? We have to trust in the system. Democrats should want to get this right. Republicans should want to get this right. The whole world is watching the United States right now. We don't want to tell the whole world that there's fraud in our election. We want a fair election. That being said, Donald Trump is perfectly within his rights to look into things to make sure it was on the up and up, do the lawsuits that he needs to do, let his team take care of that. Again, we look back to 2000. We didn't know, I think it was 45 days till December 11th or 12th, till we found out who our actual president was. So there is a process in this, but we as the American people have to believe in this process, and everyone, Democrats and Republicans, should want to get this right.
Well said, Jeff. Speaking of President Obama, there are other more personal details emerging from the upcoming release of his new memoir, A Promised Land. Obama talks about his smoking habit while in the White House, saying he would sometimes smoke 8 or 9 cigarettes a day. He said he'd look for a discreet location to grab an evening smoke. So what made him quit? Apparently, it was after his eldest daughter, Malia, smelled a cigarette on his breath. He said she wasn't happy about it, so that was his inspiration. Obama also revealed that the presidency took a toll on his marriage. He said he felt an undercurrent of tension in Michelle and that all her previous sources of frustration became more concentrated, more vivid while in the White House. He also admitted to worrying that those days when everything felt lighter might never return. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I understand about having a vice to relieve tension, and cigarettes definitely do that. People smoke when they're nervous, smoke when they have something, and I mean, who has more tension in their life than the president, Sam?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, and I'm going to make this very personal here. I'm so glad that Obama talked about this, because this is something, and I asked my husband's permission, this is something that we're going through in our household.
Whoa!
Yeah, and my husband, when I brought it up to him, he's like, well, you're saying I have something in common with Obama? Talk about it. But in reality, my husband and I, this has been tension in our house, because he's been smoking again, and he's been doing it very secretly, and then I will smell it on his breath, and I'll have to confront him, and then he will admit it. But at the end of the day, it's our kids. I don't want Sophie, so back to Obama and Malia, I don't want Sophie to smell that on him and wonder what it is. I don't want her to think that it's okay to smoke. I don't want my husband to get sick from lung cancer and have Miles and Sophie having to witness that, because that is not an easy
way to go out. It's tough.
I didn't even want to have to even say that or put it out there in the universe, but that could be a reality, and it is a reality. So I'm glad that Obama's talking about it, because a lot of us can relate. Wow. That's what it's almost a little raw right now.
I'll take it one step further.
Yeah, please.
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost you guys.
No,
I'll take it one step further. I used to smoke on the weekends too, you know, like I'd indulge myself. If I had like some drinks, I'd have a cigarette, and I could relate to Obama too. I'm being honest, you know, I don't know why I'm ashamed, like I used to do that. But there was one instance in my life, it was a couple years ago, I was having a cigarette out on the balcony after I was drinking one weekend, and my son Lawson couldn't even walk, and he put his hand against the window, and I looked back.
Oh my God.
I put that cigarette out and never smoked another day in my life.
Amen, Jeff Schroeder, amen. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
In fact, Mark, you know, when we talked about it yesterday.
Mark, your husband.
Mark, my husband, yesterday, he said, yeah, just knowing that Sophie and Miles could catch me, I can never do it again. So I hope he follows your footsteps, Jeff.
Beautiful.
I know you can do it, Mark. I love you. I got your back. Coming up on DBL, we're catching up with screen icon Laurence Fishburne, from Boys in the Hood to his new show all about history's greatest mysteries. He's going to talk all about it. Later, a woman in the wrong place at the wrong time, found guilty of murder. murder. Her fight to clear her name in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. Plus, an Instagram account is showcasing the most random celebrity encounters. We're sharing our own experiences. And what's up with this mega alligator caught on camera? Whoa, he's huge. That's not Jurassic Park.
Like
it's not right.
Oh my gosh,
it's not right.
This wild video coming up.
See you later, alligator.
Welcome back to DBL. It is Friday, so we want to have some fun. There's an Instagram account out there that's sharing people's run-ins with celebrities. So in one story in Overheard Celebs, a person recounts the time when Nicole Kidman helped her locate her dog's droppings in a park. Another talks about how Matthew McConaughey asked for a beer with ice so he could, quote, hydrate while he dehydrates. That is amazing.
It's so Matthew.
And someone wrote about spotting Dave Chappelle sitting outside a coffee shop with his Emmy. Can you imagine? Here's the pic to prove it. When asked why he was sitting with his Emmy, Dave replied, "Why the bleep not sit with my Emmy?" That is so good. And listen, we've all lived in LA. We've all had our share of celebrity run-ins, but let's talk about the most random ones. So Jeff, what about you?
I ran in, this is 20 years ago, okay, pre-Comedy Store blow up, so mind you. So 20 years ago, I ran into Michael Richards in Germany.
Whoa.
In Germany, of all places, I was having lunch, and he walked in, and this was at the height of Seinfeld fame, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, Michael Richards, what are you doing here? And he actually invited us over to the table to sit with them. That's how nice, he's like, hey guys, come sit down. What are you doing here in Germany? And it was so random.
Wow.
It was just crazy, but people are gonna, I don't mean to pad my racist stats here. That was 10 years before that Comedy Store incident.
I just like that you're flexing in the picture, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Creamer.
Guns
there
in Italy.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah,
you
you
got
are.
guns in
It's
Italy.
okay. I would too if I was, doing a celebrity pick. Tori, what about you?
Okay, so I was, my parents came to LA to visit me. We went to a hotel. They stayed at a Peninsula. It's a nice hotel, the Peninsula, that had a pool. I fell asleep at the pool, and I'm in that dreamy, sunny, kind of weird state. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're at a pool and kind of not there. And I wake up, and my mom's in the pool talking to LeBron James.
What?
And she's just, and no one else is there. And she's asking him, him what he thinks about the helicopter, and there's somehow a robbery in Beverly Hills. And I think, am I sleeping? And then they start swimming, and I was like,
amazing.
it's crazy.
Oh my God.
I mean, I should have gone right after Jeff. Mine is just, I saw Montel Williams. He was right behind me in line at the airport. Back when you can go to the airport, you can catch the side eye.
That's your celebrity
That's the dumbest
encounter,
one.
and then you posted it?
That's really dumb.
National Kindness Day.
Wow, he took a picture and posted it. Okay, so mine's better than the Montel one. I don't think it's as good as Tori's. But so I used to work in the club, as we all know. I talk about that all the time. And when I wasn't a waitress, I'd work the door. I'd let people in the door. So there was a long line always. And at the back of the line, I noticed that's Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson.
Whoa.
Waiting in line, not flexing. She was in sweats and a sweatshirt with a hood on. He was in sweatshirt, hood, and a beanie and a backpack. So no one noticed it was them.
And you're like,
I noticed it was them, and I was like, they had no security, nobody with them. I was like, Janet, JD, come with me.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait in line. And I gave them a free table and the whole 9 yards.
Bravo.
Would I've gotten a free table?
Would Montel?
We'll be right back with Laurence Fishburne. Welcome back to DBL. What if you could turn back the clock to solve some of the world's greatest mysteries? Well, that's exactly what Laurence Fishburne is doing in his new show. Jeff caught up with him earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Laurence Fishburne, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily Blast Live to talk all about history's greatest mysteries, which I watched last night. I have a lot of questions for you. But first, I got to know, Laurence, for those of you who don't know, your first role was on Apocalypse Now alongside the great Martin Sheen. And it turns out, while you are on set, you actually saved his son Emilio from drowning. Now, I want to know, did you ever get a thank you phone call?
Oh yeah, I got a mention in a book actually that Martin and Emilio co-authored called The Way.
Wow. So was there like a life debt between you and Emilio? Does he still owe you a big favor?
No, we settled that a long time ago. We're very, very close, and we've we essentially kind of grew up together over there.
Well, I love that, and very nonchalant about it. So, good man, Laurence Fishburne. So, for your new series, History's Greatest Mysteries, Laurence, it's diving into mysteries like Roswell and the Titanic. But for me, the greatest mystery, which the first episode is all about, is D.B. Cooper. So, here's the big question. Do you think DB Cooper survived, and will they ever catch him? I don't want any spoilers, though, for the first episode.
Well, that's the great thing about this show. I mean, it deals with these incidents that you kind of know about, but that have never been clearly answered or defined. And there are all kinds of people who you meet on the show who have been investigating things like Roswell and the Titanic and Shackleton ship to try and get to the bottom of it and shed light on it. And they do, in fact, shed a lot of light on these subjects. But the Cooper thing, I think the most interesting sort of question is not just did he survive, but is he alive and just walking around free somewhere?
That's the question on my mind, too. You were only 10 years old when that famous DB Cooper hijacking took place. Were there any other famous? Right. Yeah, were there any other famous cases that you were interested in while filming this series that came up?
I mean, I was always kind of interested in the Titanic thing, like I think most people are, just because of the size of the ship and what that represented during the time in which that ship, was on its maiden voyage. I mean, this thing was the latest in technology. It was built to be able to, deal with icebergs and waves and all kinds of stuff. And it could not, withstand the forces of nature. So I think we're all kind of fascinated by that story.
Now, the real question is, do you think Leo and, is her name Grace from the Titanic, could have both fit on that door? That's the question. Rose. That Leo and Rose could have fit on the door from the movie Titanic?
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. That's just an internal question. All right, before I go, I wanted to tell you one of my favorite characters. You have so many, Laurence, over the years. It's too many to count. But Jason Fury Styles from Boys in the Hood, I don't know why. I would watch that movie growing up 100 times. I got to know, Laurence, one of my favorite parts in that movie. Is the song Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps really one of your favorite songs?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, listen to this song. I love this song.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter.
Of course it is.
Absolutely.
How could it not be?
That's one of my favorite parts of that great movie, Laurence.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Laurence, thanks for taking the time, Mr. Fishburne. Thank you so much for chatting with us here on DBL. And everybody, don't forget to catch History's Greatest Mysteries this Saturday night on the History Channel. Again, thank you again, Laurence.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back, everybody.
It's sad, but it's true. There are a lot of people online who are trying to take advantage of others by spreading false information. That's where the Verify team comes in. Maybe you've seen this message going around as a text, an email, or on social media, telling you about a local COVID-19 study which is paying up to $1,200. Sounds like a good deal. Get paid and help science. But before we click, let's verify. Are these messages about COVID study paydays legit?
Hi, my name is Kelsey Coleman.
Here's our source, the Director of Communications at the Better Business Bureau. She says this message and many others like it are fake.
Of course, there are legitimate clinical studies out there, but it's important to make sure you do your homework.
Coleman says that clicking on the link could unknowingly download malware onto your computer, giving scammers access to your personal info. In other schemes, the link will bring you to a fake website where they'll ask for your ID or your bank info. Coleman says there are a few big warning signs here.
Those people that are contacting you out of the blue like that, that's a big red flag. Anybody who's asking you for your banking information as part of the study, that's a huge red flag. You should never have to pay for a legitimate study.
So we can verify that, yeah, this text is bogus. Don't click on the link. Now, if you want the Verify team to look into something, just shoot us an email at verify@WUSA9.com. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, so we've got that crazy viral video that we wanted to show you, right? So check out this massive alligator that was caught walking on a golf course in Florida.
God.
Oh my gosh, he looks like he's on stilts. Yeah, he is practically dinosaur-sized. Apparently it comes around fairly often, and you guys are gonna love what the locals nicknamed it. Al.
I thought you were asking me to guess what it...
No, it's Al.
I like that, Al. That sounds like a children's book.
Al the alligator? They couldn't have maybe workshopped that a little bit?
What would you
alligator
say?
didn't look like an owl?
You know what I would say? What do you call an alligator in a vest?
What?
An investigator.
No, you don't.
Huh?
Tori, that joke was just like, it didn't make sense.
Did you make that up?
No,
I was reading in the break about it.
No, she looked that up, which is way worse. Have you ever seen an alligator in real life, anybody?
In a zoo,
Yes.
I think.
I mean, not at a zoo. I mean, in
Yes,
in the
in
wild.
Florida, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Have you?
Of course, I lived in Florida 10 years. Yeah, they're out there.
Cool. They are. Wow.
Was that your story?
That was all I had. We had a minute to talk about an alligator walking towards
All
water.
right.
What do you want me to do?
Enough. I was just told you can move on. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up on DBL. I love you, Al. Girl Talk with Dolly Parton and Oprah. And Dolly jokes there's one thing she'll never do. And is McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy really back, or is that all a dream? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Nice job.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Alan, Tori, Jeff joining us from home. All right, so fans of Grey's Anatomy were in for a pleasant surprise. During last night's season premiere, Patrick Dempsey, aka Dr. McDreamy, returned at the end of the episode in what appeared to be a dream. Patrick played the hot doc for 11 seasons before dying in a car accident. If you remember, he was married to Ellen Pompeo's character at the time. Ellen spoke to GMA about bringing McDreamy back. Watch.
So I reached out to Patrick, and we went for a nice hike, and we had a long walk, and we talked about it, and we said that, you know, people are just going to love this. We have the opportunity to bring smile to people's faces during 2020. We have to do this.
Tori is a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. So what did you make of this?
I stopped.
I didn't even know it was still on. That's
it's on the 230,000th episode. It's like the longest thing that's ever been going on. But I stopped after McDreamy died because the chemistry between he and Ellen were amazing. And if y'all didn't know, he and Ellen personally didn't speak for all those years. There was something happened between them, and that hike is what reunited them and brought them back.
Whoa.
So big news as a reunion for the actors as well as the characters. But I don't like the dream sequences. I gotta be honest, in these, like the Bob Newhart show, when they wake up, it's all a dream. What do you guys think about dream as a plot?
I think it's an easy
like
out.
a dead guy coming from
You know, I don't like it. And it happened in Game of Thrones as well. Like Jon Snow, no spoilers, got killed, came back to life.
You just gave a
and
spoiler.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones by now,
okay,
you're not going to see it.
Wow. Okay, thanks. I have not.
Okay,
but
well,
that's okay. Go ahead.
The main character dies and comes back. All right, and they're dragons. You know, but honestly, it's just like I need stakes, and when you need the character, if they're running away from the bad guy, to know that if they get killed, there's a punishment for that. If you know they're going to get killed, but they have a magic potion to come back, why are you watching?
I don't know, Jeff. This is par for the course for me. I'm a huge soap opera fan. I live and breathe me some Young and the Restless, and I would say 1 every 10 episodes you get a dead dream.
Really?
So I'm used to this. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, people go on and off. They go off and film movies. They have other things to do. But the people at home miss that character, right? So if they have an opportunity to come back to that show, of course it's going to be something crazy because they're coming back to life and they just want them back on the show. So that's how they do it.
Since when does Jeff have an echo in his house?
Why are you in a cave?
What's going on?
Listen, I don't know. What do you want from me?
I think your mic's turned off.
I think so too.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to the next story. Dolly Parton doesn't intend to grow old gracefully one bit. The country music legend spoke on the Oprah Conversation about fighting aging every step of the way. Have a look.
You're never going to be old because I ain't got time to be old. I can't stop long enough to grow old. I'm just going to be the best I can be at whatever age I am. And I bet you I won't look much different when I'm 95 if I live that long, because I'm like the Gabor sisters. I'm going to look like a cartoon. I'll have on the makeup. I'll look as young as my plastic surgeons will allow me.
I love that she owns it. Before we discuss, Jeff, I was told that your mic was disconnected. Are we all good now?
Yeah, this helps too when you're at home, you know?
Jeff,
when you plug
I do that
thing
all
in.
the time. I do not feel bad.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so because we're talking to you, Jeff, what do you make of Dolly Parton and just embracing the fact that she's going to fight age until the very last day?
Truth be told, I was not listening at all to that story. I was dealing with my microphone.
This is a great segment. I just watched the documentary on Dolly, and let me just tell you something. You know all the flash and the dumb blonde and the big boobs and all the nails and all of that is thought out. She is so dang smart. Jane Fonda met her and was like, she's going to be in 9 to 5 because that woman is all boss. I mean, she knows how to play her career, how to look the way she looks. Everything about her is contained because she knows how to play the game. She's going to be Dolly forever because she wants to be, and bravo, I bow down to Dolly.
Anything about aging or just that story?
I'm just saying that she plays a character, and Dolly Parton's a character.
National Kindness Day.
It's World Kindness Day.
I didn't know where that story was going. She has one Dolly anecdote, and here it was.
What I'm saying is she puts on that makeup, and it'll never not look like Dolly for the rest of her life, but it's a character. And she knows, and Jane Fonda said she's never seen her not in Dolly, full Dolly. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know we were getting a makeup tutorial right now.
Hey,
what is that?
Okay, you missed you missed her point. Her point is saying that Dolly was very strategic when it came to developing her brand. So even though some people may boil her down to being superficial,
dumb blonde,
not wanting to embrace age, because I know that's definitely something that women deal with more than men, right? But for Dolly, for her, to Tori's point, is this is part of my branding image, and this is all calculated. Now, the everyday woman, I would say it's very relatable, because a lot of us feel like that we have to compete with our younger selves or with younger women. I know I was scared to hit 40, but let me tell you, once I hit 40, I found my newfound confidence.
Oh, wow. That was spicy.
I don't know. I feel like there's other stories off camera that you're going to... Wow.
What else did you find?
Embrace it. Let's get to the next story. Okay, so it turns out women actually named Karen are having a tough time finding love online. As we've seen, the name Karen has been used to describe pushy, entitled, and even, well, racist women like the women in these viral videos. But according to the dating app Wingman, women named Karen are receiving 31% fewer matches this year compared to last. Real Karens are also seeing a drop in responses and also engagement with people on the app. What do you mean you stop it?
Dudes don't, Jeff.
Yeah, they do care, dude.
Do guys care about your name?
Karen is a big one.
Stop it. Jeff, please back me up that guys do not care, especially from wingman.com.
This sounds like a very Karen story. That's why they're not getting dates. Listen, maybe the 31% has something to do with that we're living in a pandemic and nobody's dating. You ever think of that? Not because of what your name is?
No, but particularly Karen, that name is being stuck out as the one no one's paying attention to. My friend was named Isis, okay? That is so hard. It's an Egyptian god. It's a beautiful name. And I would change if I had a name that really stuck out and had to be a conversation starter all the time. We have a Karen. She works here. She's wonderful. But that's not going to be easy for the next 15. Like anyone named Katrina.
Right.
That was really hard for people. You know what I mean?
I actually call BS on Al and Jeff. I call BS on you, Jeff. If you were single, I don't think that you would go after a Karen because you wouldn't want to
Are you
you wouldn't
serious?
have to address the whole Karen
I agree with
thing
Sam.
with your family.
First of
no
all,
idea how men think.
What do you think these dating apps do surveys about what your name is versus what your dating average is? Get real.
Of course
and nobody
they do.
cares what your name is. I can make some gestures right now and show you what they care about. I'm just being, a younger man.
What do you mean gestures?
Yeah, show us. We don't
Let's
understand.
stay on the air, guys.
But why
yes,
who's
Jeff,
he talking about?
He's saying
Jeff is saying that men
care
don't
about
care
sex.
about the name at all, and I am agreeing with Jeff 100%. So I'm sorry.
Well,
guys.
obviously, the algorithm shows us that you're
on
wrong.
wingman.com.
Yeah.
They might
What
have
algorithm? What algorithm? That's the fakest algorithm I've ever heard.
Why?
You think they just randomly grabbed 30% out of a hat and took it away on the internet and pretended they did a survey?
Dating's down 30%, and Karens are whining because they can't get a date. But all dating's down 30%. They don't go in there and be like, hey, if your name's Jennifer, you have sex more than Tina.
I think
That's the dumbest thing I've ever
they
heard.
do. I think that's the
They
algorithm.
did compare it. Jeff, stick around. Coming up on DBL.
Algorithm.
Years ago, a young woman was found guilty of a murder she says she did not commit. How she's fighting to prove her innocence in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted.
Closed caption.
White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany tweeted that thousands of Republican ballots were counted as Democrat in Antrim County, Michigan. And here's GOP Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel.
There was a major software issue in Antrim County that we have concerns could have caused problems in other counties as well.
So let's verify. Was there a major software issue that affected statewide results in Michigan? We're checking with Antrim County officials and the Michigan Department of State. Now, according to the Antrim County Clerk's Office, they did catch an issue on November 4th, the day after Election Day. Unofficial results online didn't match the printed results, so they manually counted the ballots and updated their website. Now, the Michigan Department of State also wrote a lengthy explanation of what happened. They explained that Antrim County had, quote, erroneous reporting due to accidental error from an Antrim County clerk. They went on to say that, quote, the software did not cause a misallocation of votes. It was a result of user human error. Even when human error occurs, it is caught during county canvassing. The process is fairly straightforward. The voting machine spits out a sheet of paper with the tabulated results, and then software also tabulates at the same time. Once they cross-referenced the two, they were able to find and correct the discrepancy immediately. So, claim there was a major software issue in Michigan that affected statewide results? False. It was a human error in one county that only affected the unofficial results for a few hours. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Welcome back to DBL. Thousands of men and women have been released from prison for being wrongfully convicted. But what about those who are still fighting to clear their name? In today's Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, you'll hear the story of Tyra Patterson. She's a convicted woman who maintains her innocence and is currently trying to get exonerated. We spoke with her earlier.
The year is 1994. Teenage sisters Holly and Michelle Lay are sitting in their car with friends. 18-year-old Tyra Patterson and her friend Becky are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Not only did I try to stop the actual culprits to leave them alone, I also called 911 after Michelle Lay was shot and killed.
Tyra is taken in for questioning. While there, she says police coerce her into confessing to the robbery. Portions of her interrogation are taped.
I don't know I still don't know which one got shot.
LaShawna Keeney pleads guilty to Michelle's murder. And even though Tyra says she doesn't know LaShawna, police say Tyra is her accomplice.
I'm in the Homicide Investigations Office, sitting with Tyra.
Under Ohio law, accomplices to murder can get the same punishment as those who pull the trigger. So Tyra is charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated murder.
I wanted to get on stand, and my friend Becky wanted to get on stand, and they told me that because I talked to Hood, that the white jurors would eat me alive.
Tyra's 911 call is never entered into evidence, and her taped confession is played for the jury.
There was no defense. All that I heard was what the prosecution had to say.
A 12-person jury finds Tyra guilty, and she is sentenced to 43 years to life in prison. While behind bars, Tyra, who is a middle school dropout, learns to read and write. She earns her GED and engineering license and becomes a paralegal.
I started writing letters. After I gained my education, I was able to formulate letters, and I started to send them to different places until finally somebody heard me.
David Singleton from the Ohio Justice and Policy Center takes Tyra's case. He and his team start a movement to humanize her story.
More than 1/4 of prisoners exonerated by DNA evidence have been shown to have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. I should know, I am Yusef Salaam, one of the Central Park Five, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Hill Harper. I'm an author, an actor, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Alfre Woodard, and I am Tyra Patterson.
Then, a staggering change to her case. The victim's sister, Holly, who was in the car during the murder, comes forward and stands with Tyra.
It took 21 years, but she finally did it. And her coming forward meant everything to me.
In 2016, Holly writes a letter to the Ohio governor telling him Tyra is in prison for crimes she did not commit.
A lot of people ask me, are you angry that the victim took so long? I said, absolutely not. I said, she lost something dear to her heart, you know? I lost my freedom, but she lost her sister.
In 2017, after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Tyra, thank you for joining DBL and sharing your story. So you are currently on parole and you are trying to clear your name. Tell me this, what would an exoneration mean to you?
I want my name back. I want my name back. I want my rights back. I want to be able to travel the country and speak to the juveniles that I speak to. But every time I go to a university, organizations, I have to go and stop to the police station to get their permission to be in their state. And I'm doing something really constructive with my time. Like, having my name back will mean everything to me. It will mean everything to my family. It will mean everything to our community.
Well, let's talk about Holly Lay, because she came forward when you were still in prison and shared her story. So how did she share her story and what did she say?
Holly Lay is most definitely the hero in this because she did not have to come forward. But she called up my attorney and said, I have something that I would like to share with you. But I want you to meet me at my sister's grave on my sister's birthday. Wow. So he went there. She cries and she tells my attorney how much she misses her sister and that she wishes that she was here. And the conversation went on for hours. And then finally she said, everything that you all are saying about Tyra, I was there. She did not commit these crimes and she tried to help. I was so scared to go against my family. She was like, however, this is eating me alive. I know what happened that night. I called Tyra over to the car and I want to help free her.
Wow. Well, because of active litigation, you actually haven't been able to meet with Holly face to face. But when you are allowed to meet, what will you say to her?
I just want to hug her because she has struggled so much. Like, I want to hug her and I want to thank her. I wish I could do so much more for her, and I will. But I just want to hug her and thank her, and because of her advocacy and her courage to come forward.
And speaking of advocacy, you have become quite the advocate while you were serving your time, and you got your degree and you became a paralegal. So all these things. So I mean, clearly you're driven. I have to know, what are your goals for the future?
My goal is to change the ecosystem for returning citizens. Oftentimes when we're let out of prison, we're relegated to menial jobs. I want meaningful opportunities for people who are coming home, because we are going to be your neighbors. And we need the right resources out there, not just telling us where to go, but we need somebody to hold us by the hand, and so that we can be successful.
Tyra, thank you. And to our DBL Nation watching right now, if you want to follow Tyra's unfinished story, check out her Instagram and her Facebook. And also keep an eye out for her new documentary that will be coming out next year. Visit IamTyraFilm.com. Tyra, thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Do you know?
Welcome back to DBL. As coronavirus cases increase, many people are hitting the road for Thanksgiving and are finding it cheaper than usual. So we're going to chat about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. According to AAA, just under 50 million people will be on the road for this Thanksgiving. That number is noticeably smaller this year because people feel safer at home. But if you are driving, there is a silver lining. Gas is at its lowest price in over a decade, and it's expected to be under $2 by the end of the year, if you can believe it. I know. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Ain't that just life, though? The year, when it's cheapest with gas, you're not supposed to go anywhere.
I know. Any of you ever thought to maybe like this Thanksgiving get in the car and go on a little road trip?
Nope. Oh, yeah, just me and Brooksy and we might go to Vail.
How did you answer no to that?
I didn't understand if I thought she meant to visit family, but it's not. And yes, we were thinking of doing like a little mining town or Netherland. Netherland is a town in Colorado we might visit.
Goodness.
What?
Wow. It's just like everywhere you go just makes me sad. Like, who would go there and why? What are you going to do?
Oh, there's a great bookstore with coffee and homemade ice cream.
Where are you going?
I'm sorry, Al. Mr. Last road trip you went on was a mineral spring called Strawberry Fields or something.
Yeah, they have hot springs there in Colorado. Get on board, buddy. It's really dope.
If Tori said she went to
you would be sad.
Tori's going to be in Nederland.
Okay. Shout out. Jeff, do you have anything to say before we move on?
Sorry, Jeff.
No, we're done here. We're done.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Monday on DBL, reality star and media Matt Fraser blows us away with his psychic visions. Wow.
Did I freak you out? I'm sorry. You're looking at me like you're
Oh my God,
ghost.
that is like crazy that you would say that right now.
Don't miss the moment that gave Erica goosebumps. Monday on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Do not miss it. Okay, so we love sharing your comments. Riley says, Tori in her makeup tutorial, literally laughing out loud. Miranda says, Dolly never ages. She looks incredible. More power to her. Vale says, Sam, you go with your bad self. 40 is the new 25. Thank you. Now, the Karen convo. We have a Karen writing in. Karen says, my name is Karen, and thank goodness I found my man before all this backlash.
Good for her.
Karen with a C wrote in. I spell my name with a C, and that's been my saving grace.
I like that.
Did y'all know someone wrote in, I forgot Whoopi Goldberg's real name is Karen.
Oh, so she knew ahead of time to change her name.
She always sees into the future.
I think Whoopi pops off of an application, so you go with Whoopi. That's why she wouldn't be, Karen Goldberg would not be famous. Whoopi Goldberg, that's the way to go.
Jeff, anything?
No, me and Al were just texting at the break, and I said, listen, I have some single friends that they don't care if your name is Ted. If you got the assets, they're swiping right.
Facts. Facts.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for joining
Men are
us.
simple creatures, sorry.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Stay safe.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Former President Obama gets personal in his new memoir.
his confession of smoking cigarettes in the White House, plus how he says his presidency caused a strain in his marriage. A woman who spent years behind bars for aggravated murder fights to clear her name.
Her coming forward meant everything to me.
Can she prove her innocence to get exonerated? What in the dinosaur is that? We'll tell you where this gigantic alligator was spotted. Believe it or not, it wasn't Jurassic Park. And we're catching up with Laurence Fishburne. He reminisces about his role in Boys in the Hood, plus the story behind him saving Emilio Estevez from drowning.
Does he still owe you a big favor?
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
DBL starts right now.
Wow, thank you, Laurence Fishburne. Welcome to DBL. Today is World Kindness Day. It is also Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Spooky of November. I'm Sam here with Alan Torrey. Jeff joining us from home. Hey, Jeff. Are you superstitious about Friday the 13th?
No, my son was born on the 13th, so it's a beautiful day for me.
That's different than Friday the 13th, just being born on the 13th.
Well, but it can't be a bad thing for him. He doesn't want to associate those two things in his mind, even though, Jeff, your number in roulette is 16, correct?
What?
23, but
okay.
Hey, it's National Kindness Day.
Yes, and you better remember that with Tori, Jeff.
Thank you.
It is National Kindness Day.
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
Okay. There's been all
Hey,
sorts...
listen, I was going to be nice to Tori. Sam, you got in on me in the first 5 seconds, so maybe you should...
You're right. I'll take that.
Serve up some of what you're dishing out.
You're right about that. I'll take it. I will be much kinder the rest of this episode. Maybe. There's been all sorts of confusion and misinformation about the election, so let's get to it. Especially, let's talk about what's going on online, right? So there was widespread fraud all over online. Was there? We're going to find out because many people are wondering, were there glitches in the software that changed votes? Other people are wondering what exactly happened. So now the folks in charge of election security, they released a statement calling the November 3rd election the most secure in American history. That is a quote. They go on to say there is no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. So this comes after 3 more news networks, including ABC News, called Arizona for Biden last night. So even though all the networks have called the election for Joe Biden, many Republicans have not. In fact, many of our viewers have written in that you do not accept Biden as the president-elect because you believe that there was voter fraud. Well, now they say they are waiting for the president's lawsuits to play out and for the election to be officially certified, according to certain Republicans. But now former President Barack Obama is speaking out. He's been doing media for the release of his new memoir next week. Here's what he said about all of this to CBS's 60 Minutes.
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
Okay, so Tori, let's start with you here. And again, I get comments, you know, we read the comments every day. We appreciate everything that our viewers write in. And I've always said, listen, if you got to double check, triple check, recount, do what you have to do so one side or 50% of Americans can feel like that there wasn't voter fraud. But now that we've actually heard this quote, what do you make is going to happen? Do you think that we're going to hear from certain Republicans and actually start to call Biden the president-elect, or no?
I think the dominoes are already starting to tip, and people say in D.C., sources are saying that Ivanka is trying to tell her father it's time to concede, and Geraldo famously just went on the air today and said it's time to move on as well. I just want to let everyone know, a lot of you wrote me and said, look, that's only one group saying it wasn't fraud, but that's the Elections Committee. That's the Commission on Elections. That should be the end all. That's the adult in the room. We shouldn't be humoring anyone because we do that with children. We should be treating this like it was a technologically sound election. We should trust the people we put in for democracy. Not one lawsuit has gone through because there's no evidence. If you show me proof, I'll definitely take you seriously, but show me the proof.
Yeah, and with the voter fraud, Sam, you have to remember that, you know, the Republicans, you know, kept control of the Senate, took some seats from the Democrats in the House. Those elections were also on the presidential ballot. So why are those not being brought into contention as well? It's interesting how we just look at the top of the ticket but not the bottom. So I think you have to understand that if you're calling this election a fraud, that means we need to redo everything. But I'm never hearing anything about the Senate wins from the Republicans.
Well,
I'm not hearing anything from that.
Yeah, and Jeff, before you chime in, we're getting comments left and right. Mary just wrote in on Facebook. She says, so you're saying we should believe one source that says the election was the safest one ever and ignore the hundreds of sworn affidavits that they say witnessed voter fraud. Then we have Jen that just wrote in. She says this was a premature pronouncement. How do they even know? Jeff, what would you say to that?
It being National Kindness Day, I'm going to agree with Tori today, just to take her side on this. We have to trust in the system, right? We have to trust in the system. Democrats should want to get this right. Republicans should want to get this right. The whole world is watching the United States right now. We don't want to tell the whole world that there's fraud in our election. We want a fair election. That being said, Donald Trump is perfectly within his rights to look into things to make sure it was on the up and up, do the lawsuits that he needs to do, let his team take care of that. Again, we look back to 2000. We didn't know, I think it was 45 days till December 11th or 12th, till we found out who our actual president was. So there is a process in this, but we as the American people have to believe in this process, and everyone, Democrats and Republicans, should want to get this right.
Well said, Jeff. Speaking of President Obama, there are other more personal details emerging from the upcoming release of his new memoir, A Promised Land. Obama talks about his smoking habit while in the White House, saying he would sometimes smoke 8 or 9 cigarettes a day. He said he'd look for a discreet location to grab an evening smoke. So what made him quit? Apparently, it was after his eldest daughter, Malia, smelled a cigarette on his breath. He said she wasn't happy about it, so that was his inspiration. Obama also revealed that the presidency took a toll on his marriage. He said he felt an undercurrent of tension in Michelle and that all her previous sources of frustration became more concentrated, more vivid while in the White House. He also admitted to worrying that those days when everything felt lighter might never return. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I understand about having a vice to relieve tension, and cigarettes definitely do that. People smoke when they're nervous, smoke when they have something, and I mean, who has more tension in their life than the president, Sam?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, and I'm going to make this very personal here. I'm so glad that Obama talked about this, because this is something, and I asked my husband's permission, this is something that we're going through in our household.
Whoa!
Yeah, and my husband, when I brought it up to him, he's like, well, you're saying I have something in common with Obama? Talk about it. But in reality, my husband and I, this has been tension in our house because he's been smoking again, and he's been doing it very secretly, and then I will smell it on his breath, and I'll have to confront him, and then he will admit it. But at the end of the day, it's our kids. I don't want Sophie, so back to Obama and Malia, I don't want Sophie to smell that on him and wonder what it is. I don't want her to think that it's okay to smoke. I don't want my husband to get sick from lung cancer and have Miles and Sophie having to witness that, because that is not an easy
way to go out. It's tough.
I didn't even want to have to even say that or put it out there in the universe, but that could be a reality, and it is a reality. So I'm glad that Obama's talking about it, because a lot of us can relate.
Wow.
That's what it's almost a little raw right now.
I'll take it one step further.
Yeah, please.
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost you guys.
No,
I'll take it one step further. I used to smoke on the weekends too, you know, like I'd indulge myself. If I had like some drinks, I'd have a cigarette, and I could relate to Obama too. I'm being honest, you know, I don't know why I'm ashamed, like I used to do that. But there was one instance in my life, it was a couple years ago, I was having a cigarette out on the balcony after I was drinking one weekend, and my son Lawson couldn't even walk, and he put his hand against the window, and I looked back.
Oh my God.
I put that cigarette out and never smoked another day in my life.
Amen, Jeff Schroeder. Amen. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
In fact, Mark, you know, when we talked about it yesterday,
Mark, your husband.
Mark, my husband, yesterday, he said, yeah, just knowing that Sophie and Miles could catch me, I can never do it again. So I hope he follows your footsteps, Jeff.
Beautiful.
I know you can do it, Mark. I love you. I got your back. Coming up on DBL, we're catching up with screen icon Laurence Fishburne, from Boys in the Hood to his new show all about history's greatest mysteries. He's going to talk all about it. Later, a woman in the wrong place at the wrong time, found guilty of murder. Her fight to clear her name in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. Plus, an Instagram account is showcasing the most random celebrity encounters. We're sharing our own experiences. And what's up with this mega alligator caught on camera? Whoa, he's huge. That's not Jurassic Park.
Like dinosaurs.
It's not right.
Oh my gosh,
it's not right.
This wild video coming up.
See you later, alligator.
See. It's sad, but it's true. There are a lot of people online who are trying to take advantage of others by spreading false information. That's where the Verify team comes in. Maybe you've seen this message going around as a text, an email, or on social media, telling you about a local COVID-19 study which is paying up to $1,200. Sounds like a good deal. Get paid and help science. But before we click, let's verify. Are these messages about COVID study paydays legit?
Hi, my name is Kelsey Coleman.
Here's our source, the Director of Communications at the Better Business Bureau. She says this message and many others like it are fake.
Of course, there are legitimate clinical studies out there, but it's important to make sure you do your homework.
Coleman says that clicking on the link could unknowingly download malware onto your computer, giving scammers access to your personal info. In other schemes, the link will bring you to a fake website where they'll ask for your ID or your bank info. Coleman says there are a few big warning signs here.
Those people that are contacting you out of the blue like that, that's a big red flag. Anybody who's asking you for your banking information as part of the study, that's a huge red flag. You should never have to pay for a legitimate study.
So we can verify that, yeah, this text is bogus. Don't click on the link. Now, if you want the Verify team to look into something, just shoot us an email at verify@WUSA9.com. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. It is Friday, so we want to have some fun. There's an Instagram account out there that's sharing people's run-ins with celebrities. So in one story in Overheard Celebs, a person recounts the time when Nicole Kidman helped her locate her dog's droppings in a park. Another talks about how Matthew McConaughey asked for a beer with ice so he could, quote, hydrate while he dehydrates. That is amazing.
It's so Matthew.
And someone wrote about spotting Dave Chappelle sitting outside a coffee shop with his Emmy. Can you imagine? Here's the pic to prove it. When asked why he was sitting with his Emmy, Dave replied, "Why the bleep not sit with my Emmy?" That is so good. And listen, we've all lived in LA. We've all had our share of celebrity run-ins, but let's talk about the most random ones. So Jeff, what about you?
I ran in, this is 20 years ago, okay, pre-Comedy Store blow up, so mind you. So 20 years ago, I ran into Michael Richards in Germany.
Whoa.
In Germany, of all places, I was having lunch, and he walked in, and this was at the height of Seinfeld fame, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, Michael Richards, what are you doing here? And he actually invited us over to the table to sit with him. That's how nice, he's like, hey guys, come sit down. What are you doing here in Germany? And it was so random.
Wow.
It was just crazy, but people are gonna, I don't mean to pad my racist stats here. That was 10 years before that Comedy Store incident.
I just like that you're flexing in the picture, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kramer.
Guns in Italy.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah,
You
you
got
are.
guns in
It's
Italy.
okay. I would too if I was, doing a celebrity pick. Tori, what about you?
Okay, so I was, my parents came to LA to visit me. We went to a hotel. They stayed at a Peninsula. It's a nice hotel, the Peninsula, that had a pool. I fell asleep at the pool, and I'm in that dreamy, sunny, kind of weird state. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're at a pool and kind of not there. And I wake up, and my mom's in the pool talking to LeBron James.
What?
And she's just, and no one else is there. And she's asking him what he thinks about the helicopter, and there's somehow a robbery in Beverly Hills. And I think, am I sleeping? And then they start swimming, and I was like,
amazing.
it's crazy.
Oh my God.
I mean, I should have gone right after Jeff. Mine is just, I saw Montel Williams. He was right behind me in line at the airport. Back when you could go to the airport, you
That's
could catch
yours?
the side eye.
That's your celebrity
That's the dumbest
encounter,
one.
and then you
Sorry.
posted it?
That's really dumb.
National Kindness Day.
Wow, he took a picture and posted it. Okay, so mine's better than the Montel one. I don't think it's as good as Tori's. But so I used to work in the club, as we all know. I talk about that all the time. And when I wasn't a waitress, I'd work the door. I'd let people in the door. So there was a long line always. And at the back of the line, I noticed that's Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson.
Whoa.
Waiting in line, not flexing. She was in sweats and a sweatshirt with a hood on. He was in sweatshirt, hood, and a beanie and a backpack. So no one noticed it was them. And you're like, I noticed it was them, and I was like, they had no security, nobody with them. I was like, Janet, JD, come with me.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait in line. And I gave them a free table and the whole 9 yards.
Bravo.
Would I've gotten a free table?
Would Montel?
We'll be right back with Laurence Fishburne. Welcome back to DBL. What if you could turn back the clock to solve some of the world's greatest mysteries? Well, that's exactly what Laurence Fishburne is doing in his new show. Jeff caught up with him earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Laurence Fishburne, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily Blast Live to talk all about history's greatest mysteries, which I watched last night. I have a lot of questions for you. But first, I got to know, Laurence, for those of you who don't know, your first role was on Apocalypse Now alongside the great Martin Sheen. And it turns out, while you are on set, you actually saved his son Emilio from drowning. Now, I want to know, did you ever get a thank you phone call?
Oh yeah, I got a mention in a book actually that Martin and Emilio co-authored called The Way.
Wow. So was there like a life debt between you and Emilio? Does he still owe you a big favor?
No, we settled that a long time ago. We're very, very close, and we've we essentially kind of grew up together over there.
Well, I love that, and very nonchalant about it. So, good man, Laurence Fishburne. So, for your new series, History's Greatest Mysteries, Laurence, it's diving into mysteries like Roswell and the Titanic. But for me, the greatest mystery, which the first episode is all about, is D.B. Cooper. So, here's the big question. Do you think D.B. Cooper survived, and will they ever catch him? I don't want any spoilers, though, for the first episode.
Well, that's the great thing about this show. I mean, it deals with these incidents that you kind of know about, but that have never been clearly answered or defined. And there are all kinds of people who you meet on the show who have been investigating things like Roswell and the Titanic and Shackleton's ship. To try and get to the bottom of it and shed light on it. And they do, in fact, shed a lot of light on these subjects. But the Cooper thing, I think the most interesting sort of question is not just did he survive, but is he alive and just walking around free somewhere?
That's the question on my mind, too. You were only 10 years old when that famous D.B. Cooper hijacking took place. Were there any other famous? Right. Yeah, were there any other famous cases that you were interested in while filming this series that came up?
I mean, I was always kind of interested in the Titanic thing, like I think most people are, just because of the size of the ship and what that represented during the time in which that ship, was on its maiden voyage. I mean, this thing was the latest in technology. It was built to be able to, deal with icebergs and waves and all kinds of stuff. And it could not, withstand the forces of nature. So I think we're all kind of fascinated by that story.
Now, the real question is, do you think Leo and, is her name Grace from the Titanic, could have both fit on that door? That's the question. Rose. That Leo and Rose could have fit on the door from the movie Titanic?
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. That's just an internal question. All right, before I go, I wanted to tell you one of my favorite characters. You have so many, Laurence, over the years. It's too many to count. But Jason Fury Styles from Boys in the Hood, I don't know why. I would watch that movie growing up 100 times. I got to know, Laurence, one of my favorite parts in that movie. Is the song Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps really one of your favorite songs?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, listen to this song. I love this song.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are
Of course it is.
Absolutely.
How could it not be?
That's one of my favorite parts of that great movie, Laurence.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Laurence, thanks for taking the time, Mr. Fishburne. Thank you so much for chatting with us here on DBL. And everybody, don't forget to catch History's Greatest Mysteries this Saturday night on the History Channel again. Thank you again, Laurence.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back, everybody.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany tweeted that thousands of Republican ballots were counted as Democrat in Antrim County, Michigan. And here's GOP Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel.
There was a major software issue in Antrim County that we have concerns could have caused problems in other counties as well.
So let's verify. Was there a major software issue that affected statewide results in Michigan? We're checking with Antrim County officials and the Michigan Department of State. Now, according to the Antrim County Clerk's Office, they did catch an issue on November 4th, the day after Election Day. Unofficial results online didn't match the printed results, so they manually counted the ballots and updated their website. Now, the Michigan Department of State also wrote a lengthy explanation of what happened. They explained that Antrim County had, quote, erroneous reporting due to accidental error from an Antrim County clerk. They went on to say that, quote, the software did not cause a misallocation of votes. It was a result of user human error. Even when human error occurs, it is caught during county canvassing. The process is fairly straightforward. The voting machine spits out a sheet of paper with the tabulated results, and then software also tabulates at the same time. Once they cross-reference the two, they were able to find and correct the discrepancy immediately. So, claim there was a major software issue in Michigan that affected statewide results? False. It was a human error in one county that only affected the unofficial results for a few hours. With You Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, so we've got that crazy viral video that we wanted to show you, right? So check out this massive alligator that was caught walking on a golf course in Florida.
God.
Oh my gosh, he looks like he's on stilts. Yeah, he is practically dinosaur-sized. Apparently it comes around fairly often, and you guys are gonna love what the locals nicknamed it. Al.
I thought you were asking me to guess what it...
No, it's Al.
I like that, Al. That sounds like a children's book.
Al the alligator? They couldn't have maybe workshopped that a little bit?
That,
what would you
alligator
say?
didn't look like an owl?
You know what I would say? What do you call an alligator in a vest?
What?
An investigator.
No, you don't.
Huh?
Tori, that joke was just like, it didn't make sense.
Did you make that up?
No,
I was reading in the break about it.
She looked that up, which is way worse. Have you ever seen an alligator in real life, anybody?
In a zoo,
Yes.
I think.
I mean, not at a zoo. I mean, in
Yes,
the
in
wild.
Florida, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Have you?
Of course, I lived in Florida 10 years. Yeah, they're out there.
Cool.
They are. Wow.
Was that your story?
That was all I had. We had a minute to talk about an alligator walking towards
All
water.
right.
What do you want me to do?
Enough. I was just told you can move on. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up on DBL. I love you, Al. Girl Talk with Dolly Parton and Oprah. And Dolly jokes there's one thing she'll never do. And is McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy really back, or was that all a dream? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Nice job.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Alan, Tori, Jeff joining us from home. All right, so fans of Grey's Anatomy were in for a pleasant surprise. During last night's season premiere, Patrick Dempsey, aka Dr. McDreamy, returned at the end of the episode in what appeared to be a dream. Patrick played the hot doc for 11 seasons before dying in a car accident. If you remember, he was married to Ellen Pompeo's character at the time. Ellen spoke to GMA about bringing McDreamy back. Watch.
So I reached out to Patrick, and we went for a nice hike, and we had a long walk, and we talked about it, and we said that, you know, people are just going to love this. We have the opportunity to bring smile to people's faces during 2020. We have to do this.
Tori is a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. So what did you make of this?
I stopped.
I didn't even know it was still on.
It's on the 230,000th episode. It's like the longest thing that's ever been going on. But I stopped after McDreamy died because the chemistry between he and Ellen were amazing. And if y'all didn't know, he and Ellen personally didn't speak for all those years. There was something happened between them, and that hike is what reunited them and brought them back.
Whoa.
So big news as a reunion for the actors as well as the characters. But I don't like the dream sequences. I gotta be honest, in these, like the Bob Newhart show, when they wake up, it's all a dream. What do you guys think about dream as a plot?
I think it's an easy out.
Like a dead guy coming from
You know, I don't like it. And it happened in Game of Thrones as well, like Jon Snow, no spoilers, got killed, came back to life.
You just gave a
and then,
spoiler.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones by now,
okay,
you're not going to see it.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
Sam,
I'm not.
Okay,
but
well,
that's okay. Go ahead.
The main character dies and comes back. All right, and they're dragons. You know, but honestly, it's just like I need stakes, and when you need the character, if they're running away from the bad guy, to know that if they get killed, there's a punishment for that. If you know they're going to get killed, but they have a magic potion to come back, why are you watching?
I don't know, Jeff. This is par for the course for me. I'm a huge soap opera fan. I live and breathe me some Young and the Restless, and I would say 1 every 10 episodes you get a dead dream.
Really?
So I'm used to this. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, people go on and off. They go off and film movies. They have other things to do. But the people at home miss that character, right? So if they have an opportunity to come back to that show, of course it's going to be something crazy because they're coming back to life and they just want them back on the show. So that's how they do it.
Since when does Jeff have an echo in his house?
why are you in a cave?
What's going on?
Listen, I don't know. What do you want from me?
I think your mic's turned off.
I think so too.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to the next story. Dolly Parton doesn't intend to grow old gracefully one bit. The country music legend spoke on the Oprah Conversation about fighting aging every step of the way. Have a look.
You're never going to be old because I ain't got time to be old. I can't stop long enough to grow old. I'm just going to be the best I can be at whatever age I am. And I bet you I won't look much different when I'm 95 if I live that long, because I'm like the Gabor sisters. I'm going to look like a cartoon. I'll have on the makeup. I'll look as young as my plastic surgeons will allow me.
I love that she owns it. Before we discuss, Jeff, I was told that your mic was disconnected. Are we all good now?
Yeah, this helps too when you're at home, you know?
Jeff,
when you plug that thing in.
all the time. Do not feel bad.
Yeah,
I do
that thing.
all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we're talking to you, Jeff, what do you make of Dolly Parton and just embracing the fact that she's going to fight age until the very last day?
Truth be told, I was not listening at all to that story. I was dealing with my microphone.
This is a great segment.
Jump in.
I just watched the documentary on Dolly, and let me just tell you something. You know all the flash and the dumb blonde and the big boobs and all the nails and all of that is thought out. She is so dang smart. Jane Fonda met her and was like, she's going to be in 9 to 5 because that woman is all boss. I mean, she knows how to play her career, how to look the way she looks. Everything about her is contained because she knows how to play the game. She's going to be Dolly forever because she wants to be, and bravo, I bow down to Dolly.
Anything about aging or just that story?
I'm just saying that she plays a character, and Dolly Parton's a character.
National Kindness Day.
Yeah, it's World Kindness Day.
I didn't know where that story was going. She has one Dolly anecdote, and here it was.
What I'm saying is she puts on that makeup, and it'll never not look like Dolly for the rest of her life, but it's a character. And she knows, and Jane Fonda said she's never seen her not in Dolly, full Dolly. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know we were getting a makeup tutorial right now.
Okay,
what is that?
Okay, you missed you missed her point. Her point is saying that Dolly was very strategic when it came to developing her brand. So even though some people may boil her down to being superficial,
dumb blonde,
not wanting to embrace age, because I know that's definitely something that women deal with more than men, right? But for Dolly, for her, to Tori's point, is this is part of my branding image, and this is all calculated. Now, the everyday woman, I would say it's very relatable, because a lot of us feel like that we have to compete with our younger selves or with younger women. I know I was scared to hit 40, but let me tell you, once I hit 40, I found my newfound confidence.
Oh, wow. That was spicy.
I don't know. I feel like there's other stories off camera that you're going to... Wow.
What else did you find?
Embrace it. Let's get to the next story. Okay, so it turns out women actually named Karen are having a tough time finding love online. As we've seen, the name Karen has been used to describe pushy, entitled, and even, well, racist women like the women in these viral videos. But according to the dating app Wingman, women named Karen are receiving 31% fewer matches this year compared to last. Real Karens are also seeing a drop in responses and also engagement with people on the app. What do you mean you stop it?
Dudes don't, Jeff.
Yeah, they do care, dude.
Do guys care about your name?
Karen is a big one.
Stop it. Jeff, please back me up that guys do not care, especially from wingman.com.
This sounds like a very Karen story. That's why they're not getting dates. Listen, maybe the 31% has something to do with that we're living in a pandemic and nobody's dating. You ever think of that? Not because of what your name is?
No, but particularly Karen, that name is being stuck out as the one no one's paying attention to. My friend was named Isis, okay? That is so hard. It's an Egyptian god. It's a beautiful name. And I would change if I had a name that really stuck out and had to be a conversation starter all the time. We have a Karen. She works here. She's wonderful. But that's not going to be easy for the next 15. Like anyone named Katrina.
Right.
That was really hard for people. You know what I mean?
I actually call BS on Al and Jeff. I call BS on you, Jeff. If you were single, I don't think that you would go after a Karen because you wouldn't want to like.
Are you?
You wouldn't have to address the whole Karen
I agree with
thing
Sam.
with your family.
First of all,
idea how men think.
What do you think these dating apps do surveys about what your name is versus what your dating average is? Get real.
Of course
and nobody
they do.
cares what your name is. I can make some gestures right now and show you what they care about. I'm just being, a younger man.
What do you mean gestures?
Yeah, show us. We don't understand.
Stay on the air, guys.
But why
yes,
who's
Jeff,
he talking about?
He's saying
Jeff is saying that men don't care about the name at all, and I am agreeing with Jeff 100%. So I'm sorry.
Well,
guys.
obviously, the algorithm shows us that you're
on
wrong.
wingman.com.
Yeah.
What algorithm? What algorithm? That's the fakest algorithm I've ever heard.
Why?
You think they just randomly grabbed 30% out of a hat and took it away on the internet and pretended they did a survey?
Dating's down 30%, and Karens are whining because they can't get a date. But all dating's down 30%. They don't go in there and be like, hey, if your name's Jennifer, you have sex more than Tina. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I think they do. I think that's the algorithm.
They did compare it. Jeff, stick around. Coming up on DBL.
Algorithm.
Years ago, a young woman was found guilty of a murder she says she did not commit. How she's fighting to prove her innocence in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. Welcome back to DBL. Thousands of men and women have been released from prison for being wrongfully convicted. But what about those who are still fighting to clear their name? In today's Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, you'll hear the story of Tyra Patterson. She's a convicted woman who maintains her innocence and is currently trying to get exonerated. We spoke with her earlier.
The year is 1994. Teenage sisters Holly and Michelle Lay are sitting in their car with friends. 18-year-old Tyra Patterson and her friend Becky are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Not only did I try to stop the actual culprits to leave them alone, I also called 911 after Michelle Lay was shot and killed.
Tyra is taken in for questioning. While there, she says police coerce her into confessing to the robbery. Portions of her interrogation are taped.
I don't know I still don't know which one got shot.
Lashana Keeney pleads guilty to Michelle's murder. And even though Tyra says she doesn't know Lashana, police say Tyra is her accomplice.
I'm in the Homicide Investigations Office, sitting with Tyra.
Under Ohio law, accomplices to murder can get the same punishment as those who pull the trigger. So Tyra is charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated murder.
I wanted to get on stand, and my friend Becky wanted to get on stand, and they told me that because I talked to Hood, that the white jurors would eat me alive.
Tyra's 911 call is never entered into evidence, and her taped confession is played for the jury.
There was no defense. All that I heard was what the prosecution had to say.
A 12-person jury finds Tyra guilty, and she is sentenced to 43 years to life in prison. While behind bars, Tyra, who is a middle school dropout, learns to read and write. She earns her GED and engineering license and becomes a paralegal.
I started writing letters. After I gained my education, I was able to formulate letters, and I started to send them to different places until finally somebody heard me.
David Singleton from the Ohio Justice and Policy Center takes Tyra's case. He and his team start a movement to humanize her story.
More than 1/4 of prisoners exonerated by DNA evidence have been shown to have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. I should know, I am Yusef Salaam, one of the Central Park Five, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Hill Harper. I'm an author, an actor, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Alfre Woodard, and I am Tyra Patterson.
Then, a staggering change to her case. The victim's sister, Holly, who was in the car during the murder, comes forward and stands with Tyra.
It took 21 years, but she finally did it. And her coming forward meant everything to me.
In 2016, Holly writes a letter to the Ohio governor telling him Tyra is in prison for crimes she did not commit.
A lot of people ask me, are you angry that the victim took so long? I said, absolutely not. I said, she lost something dear to her heart, you know? I lost my freedom, but she lost her sister.
In 2017, after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Tyra, thank you for joining DBL and sharing your story. So you are currently on parole and you are trying to clear your name. Tell me this, what would an exoneration mean to you?
I want my name back. I want my name back. I want my rights back. I want to be able to travel the country and speak to the juveniles that I speak to. But every time I go to a university, organizations, I have to go and stop to the police station to get their permission to be in their state. And I'm doing something really constructive with my time. Like, having my name back will mean everything to me. It will mean everything to my family. It will mean everything to our community.
Well, let's talk about Holly Lay, because she came forward when you were still in prison and shared her story. So how did she share her story and what did she say?
Holly Lay is most definitely the hero in this because she did not have to come forward. But she called up my attorney and said, I have something that I would like to share with you. But I want you to meet me at my sister's grave on my sister's birthday. Wow. So he went there. She cries and she tells my attorney how much she misses her sister and that she wishes that she was here. And the conversation went on for hours. And then finally she said, everything that you all are saying about Tyra, I was there. She did not commit these crimes and she tried to help. I was so scared to go against my family. She was like, however, this is eating me alive. I know what happened that night. I called Tyra over to the car and I want to help free her.
Wow. Well, because of active litigation, you actually haven't been able to meet with Holly face to face. But when you are allowed to meet, what will you say to her?
I just want to hug her because she has struggled so much. Like, I want to hug her and I want to thank her. I wish I could do so much more for her, and I will. But I just want to hug her and thank her, and because of her advocacy and her courage to come forward.
And speaking of advocacy, you have become quite the advocate while you were serving your time, and you got your degree and you became a paralegal. So all these things. So clearly you're driven. I have to know, what are your goals for the future?
My goal is to change the ecosystem for returning citizens. Oftentimes when we're let out of prison, we're relegated to menial jobs. I want meaningful opportunities for people who are coming home, because we are going to be your neighbors. And we need the right resources out there, not just telling us where to go, but we need somebody to hold us by the hand, and so that we can be successful.
Tyra, thank you. And to our DBL Nation watching right now, if you want to follow Tyra's unfinished story, check out her Instagram and her Facebook. And also, keep an eye out for her new documentary that will be coming out next year. Visit IamTyraFilm.com. Tyra, thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. As coronavirus cases increase, many people are hitting the road for Thanksgiving and are finding it cheaper than usual. So we're going to chat about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. According to AAA, just under 50 million people will be on the road for this Thanksgiving. That number is noticeably smaller this year because people feel safer at home. But if you are driving, there is a silver lining. Gas is at its lowest price in over a decade, and it's expected to be under $2 by the end of the year, if you can believe it. I know. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Ain't that just life, though? When it's cheapest with gas, you're not supposed to go anywhere.
I know. Any of you ever thought to maybe like this Thanksgiving get in the car and go on a little road trip?
Nope. Oh, yeah, just me and Brooksy and we might go to Vail.
How did you answer no to that?
I didn't understand if I thought she meant to visit family, but it's not. And yes, we were thinking of doing like a little mining town or Netherland. Netherland is a town in Colorado we might visit.
Goodness.
What?
Wow.
It's just like everywhere you go just makes me sad. Like, who would go there and why? What are you going to do?
Oh, there's a great bookstore with coffee and homemade ice cream.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm sorry, Al. Mr. Last road trip you went on was a mineral spring called Strawberry Fields or something.
Yeah, they have hot springs there in Colorado. Get on board, buddy.
Oh.
It's really dope.
If Tori said she went to
you would be sad.
Tori's going to be in Nederland.
Shout out. Jeff, do you have anything to say before we move on?
Sorry, Jeff.
No, we're done here. We're done.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Monday on DBL, reality star and media Matt Fraser blows us away with his psychic visions. Wow.
Did I freak you out? I'm sorry. You're looking at me like you're
oh my God, that is like crazy that you would say that right now.
Don't miss the moment that gave Erica goosebumps. Monday on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Do not miss it. Okay, so we love sharing your comments. Riley says, Tori in her makeup tutorial, literally laughing out loud. Miranda says, Dolly never ages. She looks incredible. More power to her. Vale says, Sam, you go with your bad self. 40 is the new 25. Thank you. Now, the Karen convo. We have a Karen writing in. Karen says, my name is Karen, and thank goodness I found my man before all this backlash.
Good for her.
Karen with a C wrote in. I spell my name with a C, and that's been my saving grace.
I like that.
Did y'all know someone wrote in, I forgot, Whoopi Goldberg's real name is Karen.
Oh, so she knew ahead of time to change her name.
She always sees into the
future. I think Whoopi pops off of an application, so you go with Whoopi. That's why she wouldn't be, Karen Goldberg would not be famous. Whoopi Goldberg, that's the way to go.
Jeff, anything?
No, me and Al were just texting at the break, and I said, listen, I have some single friends that they don't care if your name is Ted. If you got the assets, they're swiping right.
Facts. Facts.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for joining us.
Men are simple creatures, sorry.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Stay safe.
About today on Daily Blast Live.
Former President Obama gets personal in his new memoir. His confession of smoking cigarettes in the White House, plus how he says his presidency caused a strain in his marriage. A woman who spent years behind bars for aggravated murder fights to clear her name.
Her coming forward meant everything to me.
Can she prove her innocence to get exonerated? What in the dinosaur is that? We'll tell you where this gigantic alligator was spotted. Believe it or not, it wasn't Jurassic Park. And And we're catching up with Laurence Fishburne. He reminisces about his role in Boys in the Hood, plus the story behind him saving Emilio Estevez from drowning.
Does he still owe you a big favor?
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
DBL starts right now.
Wow, thank you, Laurence Fishburne. Welcome to DBL. Today is World Kindness Day. It is also Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Spooky of November. I'm Sam here with Alan Torrey. Jeff joining us from home. Hey, Jeff. Are you superstitious about Friday the 13th?
No, my son was born on the 13th, so it's a beautiful day for me.
That's different than Friday the 13th, just being born on the 13th.
Well, but it can't be a bad thing for him. He doesn't want to associate those two things in his mind, even though, Jeff, your number in roulette is 16, correct?
What?
23, but
okay.
Hey, it's National Kindness Day.
Yes, and you better remember that with Tori, Jeff.
Thank
it is
you.
National Kindness Day.
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
Okay. There's been all
Hey,
sorts...
listen, I was going to be nice to Tori. Sam, you got in on me in the first 5 seconds, so maybe you should
You're right. I'll take that.
serve up some of what you're dishing out.
You're right about that. I'll take it. I will be much kinder the rest of this episode. Maybe. There's been all sorts of confusion and misinformation about the election, so let's get to it. Especially, let's talk about what's going on online, right? So there was widespread fraud all over online. Was there? We're going to find out because many people are wondering, were there glitches in the software that changed votes? Other people are wondering what exactly happened. So now the folks in charge of election security, they released a statement calling the November 3rd election the most secure in American history. That is a quote. They go on to say there is no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. So this comes after 3 more news networks, including ABC News, called Arizona for Biden last night. So even though all the networks have called the election for Joe Biden, many Republicans have not. In fact, many of our viewers have written in that you do not accept Biden as the president-elect because you believe that there was voter fraud. Well, now they say they are waiting for the president's lawsuits to play out and for the election to be officially certified, according to certain Republicans. But now former President Barack Obama is speaking out. He's been doing media for the release of his new memoir next week. Here's what he said about all of this to CBS's 60 Minutes.
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
Okay, so Tori, let's start with you here. And again, I get comments. You know, we read the comments every day. We appreciate everything that our viewers write in. And I've always said, listen, if you got to double check, triple check, recount, do what you have to do so one side or 50% of Americans can feel like that there wasn't voter fraud. But now that we've actually heard this quote, what do you make is going to happen? Do you think that we're going to hear from certain Republicans and actually start to call Biden the president-elect, or no?
I think the dominoes are already starting to tip, and people say in D.C., sources are saying that Ivanka is trying to tell her father it's time to concede, and Geraldo famously just went on the air today and said it's time to move on as well. I just want to let everyone know, a lot of you wrote me and said, look, that's only one group saying it wasn't fraud, but that's the Elections Committee. That's the Commission on Elections. That should be the end all. That's the adult in the room. We shouldn't be humoring anyone because we do that with children. We should be treating this like it was a technologically sound election. We should trust the people we put in for democracy. Not one lawsuit has gone through because there's no evidence. If you show me proof, I'll definitely take you seriously, but show me the proof.
Yeah, and with the voter fraud, Sam, you have to remember that, you know, the Republicans, you know, kept control of the Senate, took some seats from the Democrats in the House. Those elections were also on the presidential ballot. So why are those not being brought into contention as well? it's interesting how we just look at the top of the ticket but not the bottom. So I think you have to understand that if you're calling this election a fraud, that means we need to redo everything. But I'm never hearing anything about the Senate wins from the Republicans.
Well,
I'm not hearing anything from that.
Yeah, and Jeff, before you chime in, we're getting comments left and right. Mary just wrote in on Facebook. She says, so you're saying we should believe one source that says the election was the safest one ever and ignore the hundreds of sworn affidavits that they say witnessed voter fraud. Then we have Jen that just wrote in. She says this was a premature pronouncement. How do they even know? Jeff, what would you say to that?
It being National Kindness Day, I'm going to agree with Tori today, just to take her side on this. We have to trust in the system, right? We have to trust in the system. Democrats should want to get this right. Republicans should want to get this right. The whole world is watching the United States right now. We don't want to tell the whole world that there's fraud in our election. We want a fair election. That being said, Donald Trump is perfectly within his rights to look into things to make sure it was on the up and up, do the lawsuits that he needs to do, let his team take care of that. Again, we look back to 2000. We didn't know, I think it was 45 days till December 11th or 12th, till we found out who our actual president was. So there is a process in this, but we as the American people have to believe in this process, and everyone, Democrats and Republicans, should want to get this right.
Well said, Jeff. Speaking of President Obama, there are other more personal details emerging from the upcoming release of his new memoir, A Promised Land. Obama talks about his smoking habit while in the White House, saying he would sometimes smoke 8 or 9 cigarettes a day. He said he'd look for a discreet location to grab an evening smoke. So what made him quit? Apparently, it was after his eldest daughter, Malia, smelled a cigarette on his breath. He said she wasn't happy about it, so that was his inspiration. Obama also revealed that the presidency took a toll on his marriage. He said he felt an undercurrent of tension in Michelle and that all her previous sources of frustration became more concentrated, more vivid while in the White House. He also admitted to worrying that those days when everything felt lighter might never return. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I understand about having a vice to relieve tension, and cigarettes definitely do that. People smoke when they're nervous, smoke when they have something, and I mean, who has more tension in their life than the president, Sam?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, and I'm going to make this very personal here. I'm so glad that Obama talked about this, because this is something, and I asked my husband's permission, this is something that we're going through in our household.
Whoa!
Yeah, and my husband, when I brought it up to him, he's like, well, you're saying I have something in common with Obama? Talk about it. But in reality, my husband and I, this has been tension in our house, because he's been smoking again, and he's been doing it very secretly, and then I will smell it on his breath, and I'll have to confront him, and then he will admit it. But at the end of the day, it's our kids. I don't want Sophie, so back to Obama and Malia, I don't want Sophie to smell that on him and wonder what it is. I don't want her to think that it's okay to smoke. I don't want my husband to get sick from lung cancer and have Miles and Sophie having to witness that, because that is not an easy
way to go out. It's tough.
I didn't even want to have to even say that or put it out there in the universe, but that could be a reality, and it is a reality. So I'm glad that Obama's talking about it, because a lot of us can relate.
Wow.
That's what it's almost a little raw right now.
I'll take it one step further.
Yeah, please.
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost you guys.
No,
I'll take it one step further. I used to smoke on the weekends too, you know, like I'd indulge myself if I had like some drinks, I'd have a cigarette, and I could relate to Obama too. I'm being honest, you know, I don't know why I'm ashamed, like I used to do that. But there was one instance in my life, it was a couple years ago, I was having a cigarette out on the balcony after I was drinking one weekend, and my son Lawson couldn't even walk, and he put his hand against the window, and I looked back.
Oh my God.
I put that cigarette out and never smoked another day in my life.
Amen, Jeff Schroeder, amen. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
In fact, Mark, you know, when we talked about it yesterday.
Mark, your husband.
Mark, my husband, yesterday, he said, yeah, just knowing that Sophie and Miles could catch me, I can never do it again. So I hope he follows your footsteps, Jeff.
Beautiful.
I know you can do it, Mark. I love you. I got your back. Coming up on DBL, we're catching up with screen icon Laurence Fishburne, from Boys in the Hood to his new show all about history's greatest mysteries. He's going to talk all about it. Later, a woman in the wrong place at the wrong time, found guilty of murder. Her fight to clear her name in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted. Plus, an Instagram account is showcasing the most random celebrity encounters. We're sharing our own experiences. And what's up with this mega alligator caught on camera? Whoa, he's huge. That's not Jurassic Park.
Like dinosaurs.
It's not right. Oh my gosh,
It's not right.
This wild video coming up.
See you later, alligator.
See yourself.
Welcome back to
Welcome back to DBL. It is Friday, so we want to have some fun. There's an Instagram account out there that's sharing people's run-ins with celebrities. So in one story in Overheard Celebs, a person recounts the time when Nicole Kidman helped her locate her dog's droppings in a park. Another talks about how Matthew McConaughey asked for a beer with ice so he could, quote, hydrate while he dehydrates. That is amazing.
It's so Matthew.
And someone wrote about spotting Dave Chappelle sitting outside a coffee shop with his Emmy. Can you imagine? Here's the pic to prove it. When asked why he was sitting with his Emmy, Dave replied, "Why the bleep not sit with my Emmy?" That is so good. And listen, we've all lived in LA. We've all had our share of celebrity run-ins. But let's talk about the most random ones. So Jeff, what about you?
I ran in, this is 20 years ago, okay, pre-Comedy Store blow up, so mind you. So 20 years ago, I ran into Michael Richards in Germany.
Whoa.
In Germany, of all places, I was having lunch, and he walked in, and this was at the height of Seinfeld fame, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, Michael Richards, what are you doing here? And he actually invited us over to the table to sit with them. That's how nice, he's like, hey guys, come sit down. What are you doing here in Germany? And it was so random.
Wow.
It was just crazy, but people are gonna, I don't mean to pad my racist stats here. That was 10 years before that Comedy Store incident.
I just like that you're flexing in the picture, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kramer.
Guns in Italy.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah,
you got
are.
guns in
It's
Italy.
okay. I would too if I was, you know, doing a celebrity pick. Tori, what about you?
Okay, so I was, my parents came to LA to visit me. We went to a hotel. They stayed at a Peninsula. It's a nice hotel, the Peninsula, that had a pool. I fell asleep at the pool, and I'm in that dreamy, sunny, kind of weird state. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're at a pool and kind of not there. And I wake up, and my mom's in the pool talking to LeBron James. What? And she's just, and no one else is there. And she's asking him what he thinks about the helicopter, and there's somehow a robbery in Beverly Hills. And I think, am I sleeping? And then they start swimming, and I was like,
amazing.
it's crazy.
Oh my God.
I mean, I should have gone right after Jeff. Mine is just, I saw Montel Williams. He was right behind me in line at the airport. Back when you can go to the airport,
That's
you can catch
yours?
the side eye.
That's your celebrity
That's the dumbest
encounter,
one.
and then you
Sorry.
posted it?
That's really dumb.
National Kindness Day.
Wow, he took a picture and posted it. Okay, so mine's better than the Montel one. I don't think it's as good as Tori's. But so I used to work in the club, as we all know. I talk about that all the time. And when I wasn't a waitress, I'd work the door. I'd let people in the door. So there was a long line always. And at the back of the line, I noticed that's Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson. Whoa. Waiting in line, not flexing. She was in sweats and a sweatshirt with a hood on. He was in sweatshirt, hood, and a beanie and a backpack. So no one noticed it was them. And you're like, I noticed it was them, and I was like, they had no security, nobody with them. I was like, Janet, JD, come with me. Yeah. You don't have to wait in line. And I gave them a free table and the whole 9 yards.
Bravo.
Would I have gotten a free table?
Would Montel?
We'll be right back with Laurence Fishburne.
If you have Medicare, listen up. The Medicare enrollment deadline is only weeks away.
Welcome back to DBL. What if you could turn back the clock to solve some of the world's greatest mysteries? Well, that's exactly what Laurence Fishburne is doing in his new show. Jeff caught up with him earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Laurence Fishburne, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily Blast Live to talk all about history's greatest mysteries, which I watched last night. I have a lot of questions for you. But first, I got to know, Laurence, for those of you who don't know, your first role was on Apocalypse Now alongside the great Martin Sheen. And it turns out, while you are on set, you actually saved his son Emilio from drowning. Now, I want to know, did you ever get a thank you phone call?
Oh yeah, I got a mention in a book actually that Martin and Emilio co-authored called The Way.
Wow. So was there like a life debt between you and Emilio? Does he still owe you a big favor?
No, we settled that a long time ago. We're very, very close, and we've we essentially kind of grew up together over there.
Well, I love that, and very nonchalant about it. So, good man, Laurence Fishburne. So, for your new series, History's Greatest Mysteries, Laurence, it's diving into mysteries like Roswell and the Titanic. But for me, the greatest mystery, which the first episode is all about, is D.B. Cooper. So, here's the big question. Do you think D.B. Cooper survived, and will they ever catch him? I don't want any spoilers, though, for the first episode.
Well, that's the great thing about this show. I mean, it deals with these incidents that you kind of know about, but that have never been clearly answered or defined. And there are all kinds of people who you meet on the show who have been investigating things like Roswell and the Titanic and Shackleton ship. to try and get to the bottom of it and shed light on it. And they do, in fact, shed a lot of light on these subjects. But the Cooper thing, I think the most interesting sort of question is not just did he survive, but is he alive and just walking around free somewhere?
That's the question on my mind, too. You were only 10 years old when that famous D.B. Cooper hijacking took place. Were there any other famous? Right. Yeah, were there any other famous cases that you were interested in while filming this series that came up?
I mean, I was always kind of interested in the Titanic thing, like I think most people are, just because of the size of the ship and what that represented during the time in which that ship, you know, was on its maiden voyage. I mean, this thing was the latest in technology. It was built to be able to, you know, deal with icebergs and waves and all kinds of stuff. And it could not, you know, withstand the forces of nature. So I think we're all kind of fascinated by that story.
Now, the real question is, do you think Leo and, is her name Grace from the Titanic, could have both fit on that door? That's the question. Rose. That Leo and Rose could have fit on the door from the movie Titanic?
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. That's just an eternal question. All right, before I go, I wanted to tell you one of my favorite characters. You have so many, Laurence, over the years. It's too many to count. But Jason Fury Styles from Boys in the Hood, I don't know why I would watch that movie growing up 100 times. I got to know, Laurence, one of my favorite parts in that movie. Is the song Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps really one of your favorite songs?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, listen to this song. I love this song.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter.
Of course it is.
Absolutely.
How could it not be?
That's one of my favorite parts of that great movie, Laurence.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Laurence, thanks for taking the time. Mr. Fishburne, thank you so much for chatting with us here on DBL. And everybody, don't forget to catch History's Greatest Mysteries this Saturday night on the History Channel. Again, thank you again, Laurence.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back, everybody.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
but it's true. There are a lot of people online who are trying to take advantage of others by spreading false information. That's where the Verify team comes in. Maybe you've seen this message going around as a text, an email, or on social media, telling you about a local COVID-19 study which is paying up to $1,200. Sounds like a good deal. Get paid and help science. But before we click, let's verify. Are these messages about COVID study paydays legit?
Hi, my name is Kelsey Coleman.
Here's our source, the Director of Communications at the Better Business Bureau. She says this message and many others like it are fake.
Of course, there are legitimate clinical studies out there, but it's important to make sure you do your homework.
Coleman says that clicking on the link could unknowingly download malware onto your computer, giving scammers access to your personal info. In other schemes, the link will bring you to a fake website where they'll ask for your ID or your bank info. Coleman says there are a few big warning signs here.
Those people that are contacting you out of the blue like that, that's a big red flag. Anybody who's asking you for your banking information as part of the study, that's a huge red flag. You should never have to pay for a legitimate study.
So we can verify that, yeah, this text is bogus. Don't click on the link. Now, if you want the Verify team to look into something, just shoot us an email at verify@WUSA9.com. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, so we've got that crazy viral video that we wanted to show you, right? So check out this massive alligator that was caught walking on a golf course in Florida. God. Oh my gosh, he looks like he's on stilts. Yeah, he is practically dinosaur-sized. Apparently it comes around fairly often, and you guys are gonna love what the locals nicknamed it. Al.
I thought you were asking me to guess what it...
No, it's Al.
I like that, Al. That sounds like a children's book.
Al the alligator? They couldn't have maybe workshopped that a little bit?
What would you alligator say? Didn't look like an owl?
You know what I would say? What do you call an alligator in a vest?
What?
An investigator.
No, you don't.
Huh?
Tori, that joke was just like, it didn't make sense.
Did you make that up?
No,
I was reading in the break about it.
No, she looked that up, which is way worse. Have you ever seen an alligator in real life, anybody?
In a zoo,
yes.
I think.
I mean, not at a zoo. I mean, in the wild.
Florida, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Have you?
Of course, I lived in Florida 10 years. Yeah, they're out there.
Cool. They are. Wow.
Was that your story?
That was all I had. We had a minute to talk about an alligator walking towards water.
Right.
What do you want me to do?
Enough. I was just told you can move on. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up on DBL. I love you, Al. Girl Talk with Dolly Parton and Oprah. And Dolly jokes there's one thing she'll never do. And is McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy really back, or was that all a dream? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Nice job.
Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Alan, Tori, Jeff joining us from home. All right, so fans of Grey's Anatomy were in for a pleasant surprise. During last night's season premiere, Patrick Dempsey, aka Dr. McDreamy, returned at the end of the episode in what appeared to be a dream. Patrick played the hot doc for 11 seasons before dying in a car accident. If you remember, he was married to Ellen Pompeo's character at the time. Ellen spoke to GMA about bringing McDreamy back. Watch.
So I reached out to Patrick, and we went for a nice hike, and we had a long walk, and we talked about it, and we said that, you know, people are just going to love this. We have the opportunity to bring smile to people's faces during 2020. We have to do this.
Tori is a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. So what did you make of this?
I stopped.
I didn't even know it was still on. That's crazy.
It's on the 230,000th episode. It's like the longest thing that's ever been going on. But I stopped after McDreamy died because the chemistry between he and Ellen were amazing. And if y'all didn't know, he and Ellen personally didn't speak for all those years. There was something happened between them, and that hike is what reunited them and brought them back.
Whoa.
So big news as a reunion for the actors as well as the characters. But I don't like the dream sequences. I gotta be honest, in these, like the Bob Newhart show, when they wake up, it's all a dream. What do you guys think about dream as a plot?
I think it's an easy
like
out.
a dead guy coming from
You know, I don't like, and it happened in Game of Thrones as well, like Jon Snow, no spoilers, got killed, came back to life.
You just gave a
and then,
spoiler.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones by now,
okay,
you're not going to see it.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
Sam,
I'm not.
Okay,
but
well,
that's okay. Go ahead.
The main character dies and comes back. All right,
Okay.
And they're dragons. You know, but honestly, it's just like I need stakes, and when you need the character, if they're running away from the bad guy, to know that if they get killed, there's a punishment for that. If you know they're going to get killed, but they have a magic potion to come back, why are you watching?
I don't know, Jeff. This is par for the course for me. I'm a huge soap opera fan. I live and breathe me some Young and the Restless, and I would say 1 every 10 episodes you get a dead dream.
Really?
So I'm used to this. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, people go on and off. They go off and film movies. They have other things to do. But the people at home miss that character, right? So if they have an opportunity to come back to that show, of course it's going to be something crazy because they're coming back to life and they just want them back on the show. So that's how they do it.
Since when does Jeff have an echo in his house?
Why are you in a cave?
What's going on?
Listen, I don't know. What do you want from me?
I think your mic's turned off.
I think so too.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to the next story. Dolly Parton doesn't intend to grow old gracefully one bit. The country music legend spoke on the Oprah Conversation about fighting aging every step of the way. Have a look.
You're never going to be old because I ain't got time to be old. I can't stop long enough to grow old. I'm just going to be the best I can be at whatever age I am. And I bet you I won't look much different when I'm 95 if I live that long, because I'm like the Gabor sisters. I'm going to look like a cartoon. I'll have on the makeup. I'll look as young as my plastic surgeons will allow me.
I love that she owns it. Before we discuss, Jeff, I was told that your mic was disconnected. Are we all good now?
Yeah, this helps too when you're at home, you know?
Jeff,
when you plug that thing in.
all the time. I do not feel bad.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we're talking to you, Jeff, what do you make of Dolly Parton and just embracing the fact that she's going to fight age until the very last day?
Truth be told, I was not listening at all to that story. I was dealing with my microphone.
This is a great segment.
Jump in.
I just watched the documentary on Dolly, and let me just tell you something. You know all the flash and the dumb blonde and the big boobs and all the nails and all of that is thought out. She is so dang smart. Jane Fonda met her and was like, she's going to be in 9 to 5 because that woman is all boss. I mean, she knows how to play her career, how to look the way she looks. Everything about her is contained because she knows how to play the game. She's going to be Dolly forever because she wants to be, and bravo, I bow down to Dolly.
Anything about aging or just that story?
I'm just saying that she plays a character, and Dolly Parton's a character.
National Kindness Day.
Yeah, it's World Kindness Day.
I didn't know where that story was going. She has one Dolly anecdote, and here it was.
What I'm saying is she puts on that makeup, and it'll never not look like Dolly for the rest of her life, but it's a character. And she knows, and Jane Fonda said she's never seen her not in Dolly, full Dolly. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know we were getting a makeup tutorial right now.
Okay,
What is that?
Okay, you missed you missed her point. Her point is saying that Dolly was very strategic when it came to developing her brand. So even though some people may boil her down to being superficial,
dumb blonde,
not wanting to embrace age, because I know that's definitely something that women deal with more than men, right? But for Dolly, for her, to Tori's point, is this is part of my branding image, and this is all calculated. Now, the everyday woman, I would say it's very relatable because a lot of us feel like that we have to compete with our younger selves or with younger women. I know I was scared to hit 40, but let me tell you, once I hit 40, I found my newfound confidence.
Oh, wow. That was spicy.
I don't know. I feel like there's other stories off camera that you're going to... Wow.
What else did you find?
Embrace it. Let's get to the next story. Okay, so it turns out women actually named Karen are having a tough time finding love online. As we've seen, the name Karen has been used to describe pushy, entitled, and even, well, racist women like the women in these viral videos. But according to the dating app Wingman, women named Karen are receiving 31% fewer matches this year compared to last. Real Karens are also seeing a drop in responses and also engagement with people on the app. What do you mean you stop it?
Dudes don't, Jeff.
Yeah, they do care, dude.
Do guys care about your name?
Karen is a big one.
Stop it. Jeff, please back me up that guys do not care, especially from wingman.com.
This sounds like a very Karen story. That's why they're not getting dates. Listen, maybe the 31% has something to do with that we're living in a pandemic and nobody's dating. You ever think of that? Not because of what your name is?
No, but particularly Karen, that name is being stuck out as the one no one's paying attention to. My friend was named Isis, okay? That is so hard. It's an Egyptian god. It's a beautiful name. And I would change if I had a name that really stuck out and had to be a conversation starter all the time. We have a Karen. She works here. She's wonderful. But that's not going to be easy for the next 15. Like anyone named Katrina.
Right.
That was really hard for people. You know what I mean?
I actually call BS on Al and Jeff. I call BS on you, Jeff. If you were single, I don't think that you would go after a Karen because you wouldn't want to you wouldn't have to address the whole Karen
I agree
thing
with
with
Sam.
your family.
First of all,
no idea how men think.
What do you think these dating apps do surveys about what your name is versus what your dating average is? Get real.
Of course
and nobody
they do.
cares what your name is. I can make some gestures right now and show you what they care about. I'm just being, a younger man.
What do you mean gestures?
Yeah, show us. We don't
Let's
understand.
stay on the air, guys.
But
yes,
who's
Jeff,
he talking about?
He's saying
Jeff is saying that men don't care about the name at all, and I am agreeing with Jeff 100%. So I'm sorry.
Well,
guys.
obviously, the algorithm shows us that you're
on
wrong.
wingman.com?
Yeah.
What algorithm? That's the fakest algorithm I've ever heard.
Why?
You think they just randomly grabbed 30% out of a hat and took it away on the internet and pretended they did a survey?
Dating's down 30%, and Karens are whining because they can't get a date. But all dating's down 30%. They don't go in there and be like, hey, if your name's Jennifer, you have sex more than Tina.
I think they do. I think that's the algorithm.
They did compare it. Jeff, stick around. Coming up on DBL.
Algorithm.
Years ago, a young woman was found guilty of a murder she says she did not commit. How she's fighting to prove her innocence in Freedom Files, wrongfully convicted.
Close.
Welcome back to DBL. Thousands of men and women have been released from prison for being wrongfully convicted. But what about those who are still fighting to clear their name? In today's Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, you'll hear the story of Tyra Patterson. She's a convicted woman who maintains her innocence and is currently trying to get exonerated. We spoke with her earlier.
The year is 1994. Teenage sisters Holly and Michelle Lay are sitting in their car with friends. 18-year-old Tyra Patterson and her friend Becky are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Not only did I try to stop the actual culprits to leave them alone, I also called 911 after Michelle Lay was shot and killed.
Tyra is taken in for questioning. While there, she says police coerce her into confessing to the robbery. Portions of her interrogation are taped.
I don't know I still don't know which one got shot.
Lashana Keeney pleads guilty to Michelle's murder. And even though Tyra says she doesn't know Lashana, police say Tyra is her accomplice.
I'm in the Homicide Investigations Office, sitting with Tyra.
Under Ohio law, accomplices to murder can get the same punishment as those who pull the trigger. So Tyra is charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated murder.
I wanted to get on stand, and my friend Becky wanted to get on stand, and they told me that because I talked to Hood, that the white jurors would eat me alive.
Tyra's 911 call is never entered into evidence, and her taped confession is played for the jury.
There was no defense. All that I heard was what the prosecution had to say.
A 12-person jury finds Tyra guilty, and she is sentenced to 43 years to life in prison. While behind bars, Tyra, who is a middle school dropout, learns to read and write. She earns her GED and engineering license and becomes a paralegal.
I started writing letters. After I gained my education, I was able to formulate letters, and I started to send them to different places until finally somebody heard me.
David Singleton from the Ohio Justice and Policy Center takes Tyra's case. He and his team start a movement to humanize her story.
More than 1/4 of prisoners exonerated by DNA evidence have been shown to have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. I should know, I am Yusef Salaam, one of the Central Park Five, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Hill Harper. I'm an author, an actor, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Alfre Woodard, and I am Tyra Patterson.
Then, a staggering change to her case. The victim's sister, Holly, who was in the car during the murder, comes forward and stands with Tyra.
It took 21 years, but she finally did it. And her coming forward meant everything to me.
In 2016, Holly writes a letter to the Ohio governor telling him Tyra is in prison for crimes she did not commit.
A lot of people ask me, are you angry that the victim took so long? I said, absolutely not. I said, she lost something dear to her heart, you know? I lost my freedom, but she lost her sister.
In 2017, after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Tyra, thank you for joining DBL and sharing your story. So you are currently on parole and you are trying to clear your name. Tell me this, what would an exoneration mean to you?
I want my name back. I want my name back. I want my rights back. I want to be able to travel the country and speak to the juveniles that I speak to. But every time I go to a university, organizations, I have to go and stop to the police station to get their permission to be in their state. And I'm doing something really constructive with my time. Like, having my name back will mean everything to me. It will mean everything to my family. It will mean everything to our community.
Well, let's talk about Holly Lay, because she came forward when you were still in prison and shared her story. So how did she share her story and what did she say?
Holly Lay is most definitely the hero in this because she did not have to come forward. But she called up my attorney and said, I have something that I would like to share with you. But I want you to meet me at my sister's grave on my sister's birthday. Wow. So he went there. She cries and she tells my attorney how much she misses her sister and that she wishes that she was here. And the conversation went on for hours. And then finally she said, everything that you all are saying about Tyra, I was there. She did not commit these crimes and she tried to help. I was so scared to go against my family. She was like, however, this is eating me alive. I know what happened that night. I called Tyra over to the car and I want to help free her.
Wow. Well, because of active litigation, you actually haven't been able to meet with Holly face to face. But when you are allowed to meet, what will you say to her?
I just want to hug her because she has struggled so much. Like, I want to hug her and I want to thank her. I wish I could do so much more for her, and I will. But I just want to hug her and thank her, and because of her advocacy and her courage to come forward.
And speaking of advocacy, you have become quite the advocate while you were serving your time, and you got your degree and you became a paralegal, so all these things. So clearly you're driven. I have to know, what are your goals for the future?
My goal is to change the ecosystem for returning citizens. Oftentimes when we're let out of prison, we're relegated to menial jobs. I want meaningful opportunities for people who are coming home, because we are going to be your neighbors. And we need the right resources out there, not just telling us where to go, but we need somebody to hold us by the hand, and so that we can be successful.
Tyra, thank you. And to our DBL Nation watching right now, if you want to follow Tyra's unfinished story, check out her Instagram and her Facebook. And also, keep an eye out for her new documentary that will be coming out next year. Visit IamTyraFilm.com. Tyra, thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Do you?
Welcome back to DBL. As coronavirus cases increase, many people are hitting the road for Thanksgiving and are finding it cheaper than usual. So we're going to chat about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. According to AAA, just under 50 million people will be on the road for this Thanksgiving. That number is noticeably smaller this year because people feel safer at home. But if you are driving, there is a silver lining. Gas is at its lowest price in over a decade, and it's expected to be under $2 by the end of the year, if you can believe it. I know. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Ain't that just life, though? When it's cheapest with gas, you're not supposed to go anywhere.
I know. Any of you ever thought to maybe like this Thanksgiving get in the car and go on a little road trip?
Nope. Oh, yeah, just me and Brooksy and we might go to Vail.
How did you answer no to that?
I didn't understand if I thought she meant to visit family, but it's not. And yes, we were thinking of doing like a little mining town or Nederland. Nederland is a town in Colorado we might visit.
Goodness.
What?
Wow. It's just like everywhere you go just makes me sad. Like, who would go there and why? What are you going to do?
Oh, there's a great bookstore with coffee and homemade ice cream.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm sorry, Al. Mr. Last road trip you went on was a mineral spring called Strawberry Fields or something.
Yeah, they have hot springs there in Colorado. Get on board, buddy. It's really dope.
If Tori said she went to
you would be sad.
Tori's going to be in Nederland.
Okay. Shout out. Jeff, do you have anything to say before we move on?
Sorry, Jeff.
No, we're done here. We're done.
I'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
Monday on DBL, reality star and medium Matt Fraser blows us away with his psychic visions.
Wow. Did I freak you out? I'm sorry. You're looking at me like you're
oh my God,
ghost.
that is like crazy that you would say that right now.
Don't miss the moment that gave Erica goosebumps. Monday on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Do not miss it. Okay, so we love sharing your comments. Riley says, Tori in her makeup tutorial, literally laughing out loud. Miranda says, Dolly never ages. She looks incredible. More power to her. Vale says, Sam, you go with your bad self. 40 is the new 25. Thank you. Now, the Karen combo. We have a Karen writing in. Karen says, my name is Karen, and thank goodness I found my man before all this backlash.
Good for her.
Karen with a C wrote in. I spell my name with a C, and that's been my saving grace.
I like that.
Did y'all know someone wrote in, I forgot Whoopi Goldberg's real name is Karen.
Oh, so she knew ahead of time to change her name.
She always sees into the future.
I think Whoopi pops off of an application, so you go with Whoopi. That's why she wouldn't be, Karen Goldberg would not be famous. Whoopi Goldberg, that's the way to go.
Jeff, anything?
No, me and Al were just texting at the break, and I said, listen, I have some single friends that they don't care if your name is Ted. If you got the assets, they're swiping right.
Facts. Facts.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for joining us.
Men are simple creatures, sorry.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you.